From atop the snowy mountains of central British Columbia to you listening around the world, this, my friends, is Spaced Out Radio. I am your host, Dave Scott, sitting in the captain's chair of SOR headquarters. We welcome you to tonight's show, including Kingdom of an Eye Radio and Revolution Radio. If you want to take a listen to our archives, they are free at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Do me the favor, hit that subscribe button. Our website is spacedoutradio.com, where we have a plethora of features for you. Rock out to Bumblefoot, do a little shopping at the SOR Vault, grab a great book from We Read the Night, join the Space Travelers for $5 a month, and Captain Shirk has you all up to date on the SOR Newswire. Tonight's show is brought to you by Chive Charities. Help make the world 10% happier by donating to Chive Charities today. You can find them on our website. Tom Andritsos is a Sasquatch researcher out of the Canadian province of Ontario. Ontario, if you haven't looked at it on a map, is literally filled with lush forests and lakes, many of which are uninhabited. This is once you get out of Maple Leaf territory, and Lord knows if you're a hockey fan, you don't need to love the Leafs at all. Recently, there has been a few videos out and audio emerging from the province with strange sounds that many are attributing to the legendary giant creature of the forest. Is that what they are? Then at the bottom of hour number 3, I will bring you the SOR Newswire, brought to you by Paranoia Magazine. Tom Andritsos, thank you so much for coming on Spaced Out Radio tonight. How are you, man?
Good. How are you doing, Dave? How are you doing?
I am very good. You know, normally when we're talking Sasquatch, we're usually in the central part of the continent or the west coast of the continent. We don't really get into the eastern part, but there's a lot of action out there. We're going to get into that a lot tonight. But you yourself, Tom, have had a number of strange occurrences that have kind of led you down this path towards looking for Bigfoot. Yes,
I have. Yes. Many encounters on the strange. We'll start with when I was 19, I had an encounter with a dwarf, a little dwarf. It was lifelike, like a little like a puppet, but it wasn't a puppet. It was like real, like out of the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs fairy tale story, but it was a real living creature. Right, sitting on a log in my local woods. It was evening time, 6 o'clock, and then it was strange. Something made me, at the corner of my eye, look towards the tree, the burnt-out tree from the lightning strike, where there was a hole in the like a squirrel hole, a raccoon-type hole near the top, and something started to emerge. That's what caught my attention, and it was it was like I thought a raccoon was going to come out, and all of a sudden I see something with clothes, like a hat, blue hat, come out, and all of a sudden it was weird how it traveled up the pole. Like the squirrel would travel, but it was actually I just couldn't figure out how gravity, how it could just go up exactly like the squirrel would, and then it went on to the top of the tree, where it started to look out amongst the into the woods there, looking for a friend or something, whatever it was looking for. That's when I turned my attention to it and took a good long gaze at it for about 3 seconds minimum, and then it seen me. It seen me. I realized I could see it. I was shocked. It was shocked, and then it scurried back down, just like a squirrel would. Around a tree, right back into the hole, and it was lightning fast, Dave.
That's very, very interesting. Very interesting. So when you were 19 years old and having this happen, what were you doing out in the forest?
In the forest, I was waiting for my friend to meet him, after it was our meeting spot to meet. we're teenagers, up to, we were nature lovers, not nothing more than that. Just love nature, and it was a local thing to do, either that or hit the concrete, which the woods is the place to be. Always had a natural attraction to the forest, the woods, since I was a kid. Interesting, but it was interesting. Always sensed it was all our local woods. There was previously a native encampment. Previously, about 200 years before that, in Scarborough.
Really?
Yeah, up from the Scarborough Bluffs. There was a river, a pathway, river. The river cut right down into the Scarborough Bluffs. After that, settlements patched it over, bridges, stuff like that. But the natives would come up from, indigenous people would come up from the Scarborough Bluffs and camp, take their canoes and paddle up and camp into those woods there. It was like a small little valley, almost a protected valley. So it was a good spot to camp, and you can feel. I don't know. You can feel. You could feel the energy from long ago in there in certain areas from the natives. So that was mostly interesting. Anything else, Dave?
Well, I'm just looking at this whole situation with this gnome or this elf or dwarf or whatever we want to call it. I mean,
right. It was about a foot tall. Yeah. The one I seen was a foot tall, and it wasn't cartoonish or glitchy. It was like real live, like not even a wooden puppet. It was like a real live creature. So that's what intrigued me for the rest of my life there to do the research was that first encounter with such an entity.
Did you believe in that stuff before, Tom? Did you believe in Sasquatch or anything weird?
Yeah, when I was 8 years old, I remember seeing the Patterson-Gimlin film on the Mike Douglas afternoon TV show program. And the first time I seen that, I really, really, only 8 years old, but still, I really believe that was real, right? To me, I never had a doubt since then on that film. Then,
yeah.
Go ahead.
So thank you. Since you had that sighting for that little gnome creature, did you go back to try and look for it, or did you get the hell out of Dodge because you didn't know what it was?
No, I sat there and waited for my friend, who showed up about 15 minutes afterwards, right? And I went there a few times. I never seen it again. I'm pretty sure it must have moved to a new spot after we knew about that spot. And then, I didn't try to climb up and investigate. I did look once or twice. It was just the entrance to the hole was only about maybe a foot or two above my head, about 8 feet high in the air. It was only about a 10-foot tall tree stump, burnt out tree stump. And I was surprised. I assumed there would be a raccoon or a squirrel living in there, but I was totally shocked to see something like that. Really shocked. But I understood. Ever since we're kids, we were, told the different tales, read books on such entities. So I wasn't like, a non-believer. I said anything's possible when I seen that. So how about yourself?
Oh, well, when I had my strange experience with that, I like to call it a wood nymph or whatever the hell it is. Mm-hmm. That happened in the middle of the daytime. I was taking a little jaunt geocaching around our local lake here with my son, and it just came out of the blue. From the lakeside, it came out about 20 feet in front of us, took about 2-3 steps on the trail, looked at us, and then took off back down the embankment. I went to look for it as we were walking past and never saw anything. It was just gone, disappeared. But I mean, there was some thick brush going down that embankment as well, so it doesn't really surprise me that I didn't see it. But I mean, it was curious, and I was curious because of the way it looked, of the way it kind of handled itself, the way it was kind of blurry.
Right.
And to this day I don't know if it was blurry because of my eyes and maybe my glasses didn't focus in, or if it was blurry because every cryptid creature seems to be blurry.
That's a good question. And the answer, it was still a mystery. I think it all depends how they maybe crossed into a. You weren't supposed to see it, so you were only seeing part of it. Do you understand that part?
Yes.
Right. I think some of us are meant to see these things, right? For some strange reason, either we're born with it, or we have some kind of tragic experience or accident, or it's just a natural gift, or that it's enhanced afterwards. But myself, it was. Did you notice anything, the woods or the pathway, just your immediate area, like getting a bit quieter or anything like that? Because I noticed that happened to me. It wasn't completely silent, but it did. The volume did lower considerably. Go ahead.
No, it was just a normal day. The birds were still making sound,
really?
and it was just a normal everyday. And it was like this little thing just kind of came walking on, like do 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 do. Oh
right.
Crap! Humans, I'm out of here.
That was sort of like mine experience. Also, it was just I seen it from the corner of my eye, come like stirring out of the hole, the nest, hole, whatever you want to call it, and there's no flashy lights, no orbs, none of that stuff. It was just like you could picture a squirrel coming out of a tree, but it was a dwarf, a gnome, whatever you want to call this thing, right? And that's what it was. And it didn't even notice me. It just went about its daily business, right? And would just ignore me till it see me looking at it, and that's when it noticed me. I could see it. And it went total in shock for about, a split second there, and recovered and decided to get out of Dodge super fast, lightning quick. Never seen anything move that fast.
How long was it before you went back in the forest for that?
Oh, about a week. It didn't scare me. And I wasn't like, super shocked that I seen something. I was like, I was thrilled beyond belief, but I sort of accepted it. I don't know why, but I accepted it for some reason. Only probably because I seen ghosts, a couple ghosts when I was younger, so I've seen the strange, so it didn't really shock me. Do you understand that part?
Yes. Was that the first strange creature that you had ever seen?
Oh, of course. That was the first strange creature. So that opened the doorway to the mysterious possibilities that there are other entities out there, like elves. I thought for sure there's got to be elves out there. I haven't seen one personally. I've seen them in videos and pointed them out, but I have yet to see one personally, like with my own eyes, only in video for now. I've seen a few of them, different sizes, but not in person, not yet. Seen a Sasquatch or two, but that's about it. A few other mysterious entities along the way. Have you've had ghost encounters? I've heard you have a ghost tour and that.
Yeah, right. I'm pretty busy when it comes to the paranormal and everything like that. There's always something going on around here if I can ever get out of my office to go check it on out, and the studio, that is. But the big thing is for you, how did you transition from going from having this encounter with this little dwarf at the age of 19 to searching for Sasquatch?
Well, previous to that, when I was about 12, my next-door neighbor had an encounter here in Ontario at a famous park, Bon Echo Park, provincial park there. So, and next door neighbor, best friend, like with the family, and heard it dozens of times, and that really intrigued me. And that was about 1976. We were about 12 years old, 13. We're supposed to go camping with the family. I was to go camping with him. He wanted to relive the experience, look for it again. But that always intrigued me, and I was always after seeing, like I said earlier, the Patterson-Gimlin film, right? That opened the doorway to what if, and maybe I too one day might have an experience. I just don't know why, but I just had that feeling since I was a kid, which later on in life I did have a couple experiences.
So so how old were you when you started looking for Sasquatch?
Started looking, I was about, I'd say about 1997, I'd be about 33, 34 years old, 97, 98, around then I started looking. I started paying attention. I knew there was, something out there. I had that feeling of being watched a few times when I was up north camping and fishing and stuff like that. How about yourself? You ever had that feeling before, before you had an encounter?
No, never at all. And, my first encounter was literally with the creature, where there were two creatures within 100 feet of me. But, that feeling that you had as we start to transition more into the Sasquatch aspect now, that feeling that you had for people who have never maybe adventured into a deep forest or a rural type forest. Right. Let's look at it. What does that feel like when you say that you could feel something around, but you just didn't know what it was and you didn't see anything?
It's like it's sort of like your intuition. You're like one of your sixth senses there, where you just have that feeling where it's like it's not human watching you, like a predator feeling, sort of like a wolf, a bear, cougar, big game watching you, sort of studying you, let's see. Myself, it was just almost like an electrical discharge, like it's beyond the human aspect. Like let's say a friend of yours is close by in a crowd, you just know they're there. There's a connection, a human type connection. Well, this is like it goes beyond the human, where you sense it's something further. It's more animalistic in nature. The feeling. I guess I don't know. We were born with it. One of our senses, where as predator hunter gatherer, when we're out hunting for game, I guess long ago, we always knew something's watching, or you're watching them, and you're watching for game to hunt, and just like that, something's watching you. That feeling. It's almost like an electrical static charge in the air. You can almost feel it. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but maybe some of your viewers might understand that, might have experienced that kind of feeling.
Did you feel fear?
Sometimes, sure. Sometimes fear of the unknown, fear of the predator. You always feel like prey. Even when, it don't matter. Even if it's a game warden, you still feel like prey, like they're out to get you, But sometimes it's not an overpowering feeling sometimes, It's like, if you sense danger, like that gut feeling, you would turn back, right? But
yes.
So, but no, this most of the time it was like just nothing more than, let's say, a 5 out of 10. Like, right in the middle. Like, you knew you should be wary that somebody's watching you, but it wasn't like a complete danger.
So, did you think at that time that you were being surrounded by some Sasquatch-like creature, or you just recognized the feeling of being uneasy, and that's what kind of made you?
No, you're right. Yes, at first it's a light feeling, and then as time progresses, the day wears on, you feel like there's more. Like you say, not. Sometimes you feel surrounded, but sometimes no. Sometimes just a certain area, like, instead of a 360-degree field of view being watched, it's only maybe a 90-degree section, like, or 180. You still have an escape route, like, Do you understand that part? Or?
Yeah, I get that. I could understand that. So when you were having these experiences and these encounters, were they frequent, or were they something that you had to learn to understand what they were?
No, they weren't too frequent. They were more spaced apart. As time progressed, like I said, I didn't understand what was happening back when I was, after that little creature encounter. Later on, I was up north. I always had that feeling a lot of times, but I didn't understand it at first. Then later on, I started to understand it more and more. I had some strange incidents, certain howls, howls more like yells, and a whistle back at me instantly, like a mimic instantly. Like, it's actually, it was an old scout whistle trick to call a fellow scout member. And most people within 30 seconds to a minute may return the call if they're familiar with that certain whistle call. But this was like instantly. As soon as I stopped, it was returned from me from down in the gorge, so that we were overlooking, and that's really scared me for some reason, strange reason, knowing it was that close and it was that instant, right? Previously, I heard, other calls that were sounded like a mimic, but that close, that time I was really scared. And that really got me thinking. And about my safety.
Right. Tom, I'm going to get you to hold on right there because we are going to go to break here at the bottom of the hour. Sasquatch hunter Tom Andritsos from Scarborough, Ontario, joins us as we talk Ontario Bigfoot here on Spaced Out Radio. We're going to get more into the Sasquatch talk right after this.
Hey, space travelers, this is John Resig, founder of the Chive and Chive Charities. If you know anything about our website, you know we like to do things a little differently. We're not some faceless organization collecting money for a nebulous cause. Our donor dollars go directly toward life-improving items. Then we give those items directly to an underdog who needs it most. To become a donor with Spaced Out Radio's official charity, Chive Charities, just go to chivecharities.org/donate.
From the heartlands of Canada to beards around the world, we know how to take care of you. Fill your follicles with the Mighty Moose Beard Oil. All our oils and balms are handmade and 100% natural ingredients because we care about your beard. And hey, use the promo code SOR2019 and get your Mighty Moose Beard Oil today. You can check us out on our website, mightymoosebeard.com.
Hello, this is your guitar man, Ron Bumblefoot Thal, and I have to tell you, I love the response I get for Little Brother is Watching from Spaced Out Radio fans. It's amazing how music can inspire and make people think deeper about what's going on in the supernatural world. You can head over to my website, bumblefoot.com, to check out my music, my guitar workshops, my touring, even check out some of the hot sauces that I'm working on. And make sure you keep on listening, because with Spaced Out Radio, you know Little Brother is watching.
We're adding to the entertainment online for Spaced Out Radio. I'm Amber Beckrud, and I want to invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out Cryptid Tales, where I will take you on a journey into some of the strangest legends and lore from around the world, relaying the stories to you of the strange creatures and experiences that people have had throughout time. You can find Cryptid Tales at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. And while you're there, don't forget to check out our free archives and leave a comment. See you there.
Hey everybody, the SOR Space Travelers is open. For just $5 a month, you can hang out with Dave and our crew privately in our members-only section. With your signing, you'll receive newsletters on what's going on with Spaced Out Radio. You'll have direct contact with the host during the show in our chat, live streaming videos, and a great forum for your posts and more. Become a space traveler now at spacedoutradio.com.
You wanted new SOR gear, and now you can have it. The SOR Vault is fully stocked with t-shirts, hats, hoodies, mugs, and everything in between, with great logos for you to choose from. So head on over to spacedoutradio.com, click on the SOR Vault, and go shopping. Pricing is quite affordable, and you can look good representing your favorite show. So go to our website and pick up your new SOR wear at the SOR Vault today.
Hello everyone. This is Ryan Stacy from the Experiencer Support Association, otherwise known as TESSA. We're glad to team up with Spaced Out Radio to help investigate your experiences on the SOR Sightlines Report. Together, we'll investigate the strange sightings and occurrences you've had. We're looking for answers just like you. So fill out a Sightlines Report on the Spaced Out Radio website and let's figure out what's going on together.
If you like it hot, real hot, then heat up your meals with Bumblefoot hot sauce.
Get your Bumblefoot hot sauce today. The sauce, Bumblicious, and the 4 million Scoville unit Bumble. We're going in hot, real hot, coming out even hotter.
Keep the milk nearby and tantalize your taste buds tonight.
Bumblefoot hot sauce, available now at kajans.com.
Cold drinks, great food, and the best music in Vancouver. The Moose Vancouver is the place to be, open until 2 a.m. nightly. Everything on the menu starts at just $6.95. Who serves food that cheap anymore? At the Moose, you'll never know who you'll run into. Rock stars, actors, athletes. It's the place everyone wants to be. So join us at the Moose Vancouver, the official party bar of Spaced Out Radio.
Hello, Space Travelers. It's me again, Carl. Don't forget to join the Space Travelers Club for just $5 a month and follow Spaced Out Radio on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio. Our Instagram, Dave Scott SOR. Our Facebook page is Spaced Out Radio Show. Our archives are free at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Come woo it up with Spaced Out Radio today. Bye!
Are you looking for great advertising value for your company? Look no further than Spaced Out Radio. We have a multitude of places to get your name out there, including commercial ads during the show, special promotions, and banners on our website. Our audience is proven to support the companies that support our show. We can make your budget work for you. So for more information, please contact us at sales@spacedoutradio.com.
At spacedoutradio.com, we are keeping you up to date on all the news with the SOR Newswire. Captain Shirk leads the team that is bringing you the news of the day and exclusive stories on everything paranormal and supernatural. It's free to read, it's updated daily, and it's right there for you. The SOR Newswire is a one-stop shop for the news of the day. Check it out at spacedoutradio.com today.
Visit purpleplates.com today. For over 40 years, the Purple Energy Plates have been delivering amazing results for their many customers. Inspired by the great genius Nikola Tesla, the harmony, healing, and energetic effects of the plates have proven over and over to be beneficial and often miraculous to thousands of customers. Check their site for daily specials and choose from their many energy products. You won't be sorry. Visit them today at purpleplates.com.
Welcome back to the second half hour of Spaced Out Radio. Tonight, I am your host, Dave Scott, sitting in the captain's chair of SOR headquarters. Great to have all of you with us. Reminder, if you've missed portions of this show or others, you can check out our free archives. Go to youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Do me the favor, hit that subscribe button. Our website is spacedoutradio.com. We got a plethora of features for you. Make sure you check it on out while you're listening to the show. Tonight we are talking about Sasquatch in the province of Ontario. With us is researcher, investigator Tom Andritsos. And Tom, we welcome you back to the show.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you.
No problem. Here on the West Coast, Sasquatch is said to be docile. It's said to be, tries to stay away from people unless you're kind of invading its home territory, where then it seems to get a little bit rambunctious, especially if the logging crews are coming in. We've seen that in my own area around here a couple of times, and I've heard those reports. But in your area, what kind of creature are we looking for?
We're looking for a mid-range, not too aggressive, not docile either. More a watcher, I think, more of a watcher. But I think they guard their territory very well, myself, right? I think,
are they as big as the creatures out west?
I think so. A good 8 feet tall to 10 feet tall. 8 feet is usually the average males, right? I don't think they're as tall as the ones out west, right? But I'm sure they have big ones out here too. The ones I've seen out here are being, I said between 8 and 9 feet, usually average, and also 7 feet, around that range. I hear more, and the ones too out here have more of the roundish type heads. Like they don't have the they call them like the ancient ones. The tapered heads.
Yes, that's what I've seen.
Right. No, mine would be more just more roundish, right? And mostly fur covered on the faces. Right, different types of fur. Brown, mostly brown color I've seen here.
Right. So where are the creatures? Because Toronto happens to be, and the metropolitan area happens to be around 8 million people. It's the fourth largest city metropolis in North America. And, that's a big area. How far out do you have to go before you hit the woods where this creature is alleged to be?
I'd say a good hour, 2 hours minimum, 2.5 hours. Anywhere around the Algonquin Park area, south of there, and also inside the park, but north of the park, all that corridor. A good hour, hour from Ottawa to the Peterborough area, and north, all the way north up to Lake Nipissing. That would be North Bay. In that corridor, there's quite a few, I'd say. Quite a few.
All right. And is it a big population that you have there? Because Ontario is the largest province in Canada, and there is a lot of forest. I believe there's over 10,000 lakes or more in the province. So there is plenty of area for this to hide when you get into the Canadian tundra.
Right. There's a lot of private lakes, government lakes, private resorts, where, nobody travels there. So there's lots of safe spots for them to camp out. I believe they travel back and forth through a corridor. They don't stay in one area too long. And also for game depletion, stuff like that. Food is a major topic here. Winter lasts a long time out here, 4 months in certain areas. So, yeah, they would have to travel. Definitely would have to travel. I say there's several corridors where they use to travel, especially the Algonquin Park corridors, and also an Ottawa corridor out that way too, into just on the Quebec border, that out there, all the way down towards the Lake Ontario. There's a corridor, right? Haven't located it, but I know it's out there. So one day we'll show evidence of such a corridor. You probably have to use a plane and film stuff like that, but I'm sure that there's plenty out there. Plenty. I've had my couple encounters in that area, about an hour from Ottawa. Anything else, Dave? Interesting. Yeah.
Well, with that creature and the fact that you're kind of moving more into the Canadian Shield area.
Yes, I was going to say that, the Canadian Shield. Yes.
Right, and the Canadian Shield, for people who don't know, is like a very rocky ground. It is permafrost in some areas in the northern parts, and it kind of stretches from Newfoundland all the way across Quebec and Ontario. It's a big area that also includes the Hudson Bay and so on and so forth. So, polar bears up there. There's polar bears up higher up in that area, man. Like, nobody wants to mess with them. Nobody wants to mess with them. I don't even think Sasquatch would mess with them. I think I'm taking a polar bear over Sasquatch. I am saying
polar
that.
Bear? I don't know. I don't know. That's a toss-up, I think. I think they avoid each other on purpose,
Well, yeah, but you look at Sasquatch. Let's take a Sasquatch at let's say 8 feet and 400 pounds, 350 pounds. You take a polar bear that's standing on its hind legs at like 14 feet, and they can weigh up to like 1,800, 1,900 pounds. I'm taking a polar bear. Taking a polar bear.
You are? I'm taking the Sasquatch. I think the Sasquatch can maneuver much faster than the polar bear.
Now, I will put money on Sasquatch over Dogman. I will definitely do that.
I would too.
I mean, it's just one suplex and a camel clutch away. Dogman's history. Dogman is history. Let's go old school wrestling there for a second. But nonetheless, when you're dealing with this creature, tell me about your first experience you had with it.
The first experience I had was when I was fishing. Like I said, about an hour away from Ottawa. It would take me about 4 hours highway travel just to get there on a private lake. So I just had I heard a woodpecker. Okay, a woodpecker on a tree where I'm fishing, just sitting in the boat. Quiet, just casting away into the weeds there, into the marsh, and I'm watching this woodpecker up on a tree there making this noise, and I started hearing a mimicking noise of the woodpecker, right? Close, but not the same. Really close, though, right? And that got me intrigued, and I had a slight visuals of the shoreline, certain areas. I thought, could see something at first. I've gone fishing this spot maybe 3-4 times, and every time it was always the same. And the feeling I'm being watched and stuff like just that feeling. But I did had slight visuals. And then one day, I was just going for later in the late afternoon, taking my girlfriend for a boat ride around the lake. No fishing, just casual ride. And she pointed which direction to go, and I don't know. She had this weird look on her face, but she wasn't looking back in the boat. She's sitting in the front, just a small little wooden boat. And next thing you know, boom, there it was, about 6.5, 7 feet tall, standing up. I thought it was a bear at first, and then I couldn't believe it. And I said, no, the bear would stagger. The bear would stagger if it was standing. And it had its back. It was like a side view, and it was looking right into, standing there looking into the woods, but it was about 4 or 5 feet from the shoreline, just just at the edge of the tree line, opening in the tree line. And I'm like, wow. I looked back 3-4 times, and it just stood there, like, and I said, that's no bear. I had about a 20-second visual. As the boat went by slow, just a small wooden boat with a small motor, 5-10 horsepower max. Anything else? Yeah.
Wow. Was there any odor?
No odor, nothing, zero odor. And when I every time I viewed it, I turned back and looked right at my girlfriend, who not once turned like or talked, and that was strange for her. But I could feel like some kind of radiant energy off of her, and like she knew, but I don't know. It's like she led me the which way to go, and it's like she knew something was up, but didn't tell me. Said we have to go and this way, and it's like she knew. I could excuse me. It's like you could tell the person you're with, they know what you know without even telling you or even looking at you. You ever had that feeling, Dave?
Yes, many times.
Yes, right. Intuition, or beyond intuition, almost like a ESP, like thought waves, but not full. Just almost like the other person, you could tell what they're experiencing, whether it's joy or sadness. Yeah, that's sort of like the feeling expression. It's weird. I must have looked back 3-4 times, and every time it was still there, standing. And I said, and every time I looked back, I wanted to tell her. I never told her. Every time I looked back, I wanted to tell her. Look, I didn't know what to do. I thought if I told her, it's going to be gone when I turn my head back. I only lost sight because we had to turn, follow the lake, whatever. So I just went out of range. I couldn't see it anymore, right? But it was like I said, for 20 seconds, I kept turning back, and it was still there. I said no bear would be standing that long on its 2 hind legs, and for what reason, right? And it looked like it didn't look like a full adult. It looked like more like a young adult or an older teenager type. About 300 pounds max, 250, 300, but about 6.5 feet, and a tan color. Like the face was tan colored. Like it didn't have hair on the face, or it was light color. I couldn't tell, but I could just see the side glance. It was like a tan colored on the face, but dark brown on the fur, on the hair. Hair.
So when you saw that creature, did it throw anything at you guys? Did it make any noise?
No, it just stood there. Let me see it. I was curious. Like I said, this was the 4th time I've been to this private lake to go fishing, right? And like nobody goes there. It's not a public access. Like it's not a public lake. It was a private. You had to rent cottages, or like you had to know about this place to get into it. You had to rent a cottage previously to know about this hidden lake. Do you understand that part? Or
yes, absolutely.
Right.
Keep going.
Right. So yes, this was a private lake. We weren't even allowed to tell anyone where this lake was till we went fishing. Had to, swear secrecy to the friends who told you, and bring them along too. Whenever you visited, I think I visited twice without the people who showed me. I've been there about 4 or 5 times, 6 times actually. Sorry, altogether over a 7-8 year span. So and to us where we lived here in Scarborough, it was a 4-hour trip was a big adventure to go fishing. You had to leave like 3 in the morning to get there for 7 daylight. On a hot summer July day or August. That's the only time we would visit.
Yeah, Tom. When you had that encounter with that Sasquatch, and you say it was potentially a juvenile type one. And how long was it there for? And how long before you went back in that area to see if there was any clues, footprints, hair samples, maybe some, Bigfoot doo-doo hanging around on the trails?
Well, the next time we were there, about 2 weeks later, to go fishing again, and I did. I went over there and looked. I checked the area right where it was standing and all that. Didn't see nothing. I didn't even... every time before that I went there, I always had that feeling I was being watched, but only like this time maybe one, but being watched from 3, 4, 5, up to 5 different individuals in different areas. Well, this time it was only like 1 or 2 from a distance, and throughout the day, but none in our direct vicinity as before. Like you could just sense they were like within 30, 40 feet of you. Not this time. It was more like 100, 200 feet away. 200 feet, sorry, not 100, but 200, 300 feet away, watching you. Next time I went back, I really found that strange. Why all those other times they were really close to us, and after they showed me themselves that yes, were real, I was always curious. I tried to, I thought that I seen them on the island or heard them, communicating between themselves a couple times as I'm fishing around a small island with a cottage on it, but the owners were never there during the week. That's all when we would go fishing midweek, never on the weekend. So these, most likely weekend cottage goers, right? I think
for sure
there was one or two on the island hiding out or whatever, using that as a, temporary camp. They had a small little patch of woods there beside the cottage on a small island, so perfect spot. But every time I fished around the island, I was the only one in the boat. 3 people. I was the only one who noticed anything strange or heard anything strange. The other people not once ever, 4 or 5 times with the same people, 2 times with the other 2 friends. Not once did I ever hear a mention of anything strange or any sight or any sound strange. I was the only one who picked up on it. Every time I was there, I was the only one. So,
do you think
you ever experienced that yourself? Pardon me?
Yeah, I have with extraterrestrials, not Bigfoot. But right. Did you think that maybe that because of some special powers? That maybe Sasquatch was only there to see you?
I think so. I think so. I really believe that part. I believe that part. I believe we're chosen for some reason. I don't know why, but I really believe that part. Some people say, you may have, gifts beyond explanation, certain things like psychic intuition I'm not sure. I'm not sure. There could be extraterrestrial connections. You could be visited for some reason. How about yourself? You've had a terrestrial visit yourself before you had the Sasquatch encounter, or did it happen afterwards?
Happened afterwards. Mine happened afterwards. It seemed to progress. It started off with ghosts, and then to Sasquatch, then UFOs, and then Bigfoot, and then ETs, and then ET abduction, and then a radio show, and then a bunch of snarky people on Twitter. You know, that's kind of the way it progressed from the beginning over the last few years. But you know, for me, when I was having my own experiences, as we've only got about 3 minutes here before we got to go to break at the top of the hour. For me, I just followed the progression of where I was supposed to go. A lot of people don't get that. They could be out in the forest like you, fishing or hunting or backpacking, geocaching, whatever it may be. You know, even going for a nice drive for a picnic on top of a hill, and all of a sudden there's something there that's not supposed to be there. So I do believe there is a difference between a spiritual connection with any of these creatures comparatively to those who just see something walking through the forest or walking through a meadow that is very unexplainable.
Right. Yes, I 100% believe in the spiritual connection. It's got to come. I think it's got to be in your heart. I think, you know, some people, you know, it's in your heart. I think they could tell. It's in your heart. If your heart's open, and I don't know, you know, my mom's heart was open, but she never had any weird experiences like I have. So I think that plays a part, but I think it's more in the mind too, you know. I think our minds are more conditioned. Like I said, you know, I seen ghosts when I was young, very young, 7, and communicated with them. You know, I played with a Ouija board and seen my neighbor pop up. That was scary in the corner.
Was your neighbor dead?
Yeah, he was dead. He had cancer, and he took his life in his basement. You know, 2 doors from us. We were in a townhouse complex. We were kids. So I was about 11, and you know, we were playing. You know, the teacher in school was, you know, it was a big fad back in the 70s where, you know, Alice Cooper and the Ouija board and all that stuff, and we would, you know, try and it was just communicate. Not much luck, so and so, but I tried it. My next door neighbors had one, so we were, you know, playing with it. And there were 3 of us and these 2 other younger girls, and I could tell the one girl, she didn't have the connection, that, you know, that electrical charge between us. So I told her to sit out, and then me and one little girl there, just about a year younger than me, we're about 10, 11, 9, between 9 and 11. She was 9, I was 11. We're playing with the board. The older teenage kids next door had the board. So, and we started spelling. All of a sudden, the word starts spelling out H, E, L, and I'm getting scared. Yes. And then P, help. And then right in the corner, I hear a noise. Poof. Something moved. Something shook. And then boom, I seen like a gray outline, not a shadow, but the actual outline, gray outline of my next door neighbor. Okay,
weird.
Crouch down.
Weird. Tom, I'm going to get you to hold on right there because we're going to go to break here at the bottom of the hour. Tom Andritsos talking Sasquatch in the Canadian province of Ontario. We continue with weird and strange stories right after this in hour 2 of Spaced Out Radio next.
A little bit of science, a little bit of skepticism. Add a dash of snark and you have the makings of Spaced Out Sundays with me, Everett Thieme. Together we will look into the reality of the paranormal with an open eye and rational thought. Oh, did I mention there'll be plenty of woo as well? Your time spent with Spaced Out Sundays will make the night even better. The chat rooms are open, 9:06 p.m. Pacific, 12:06 a.m. Eastern, right here at spacedoutradio.com.
Are you an experiencer of something strange that can't be explained? Do you want help finding out what's going on? I'm Ryan Stacy, head of the Experiencer Support Association, otherwise known as TESSA. We've teamed up with Spaced Out Radio to investigate cases filled out in the SOR Sightlines report. We are independent and there's no cost to what we do. All we need is your experience. Let's find out what's happening together on the SOR Sightlines Report.
Looking for creative ways to get your company out in the public? How about advertising on Spaced Out Radio? Our sales department is waiting to hear from you, and we can work around any budget. From commercial spots to banners to special promotions, there are many opportunities to get your name and product out to our SOR listeners. For a price guide and more information, please contact us at sales@spacedoutradio.com.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
The party is always on at the Moose Vancouver. The Moose Vancouver is where you want to be when visiting Canada's West Coast. Open until 2 a.m. nightly, the Moose cranks up the rock while serving some of the best rated food in the city. The menu starts at $6.95. Why party anywhere else in Vancouver when the Moose is right there? Get your horns up and rock with the Moose, the official party bar of Spaced Out Radio.
The SOR Vault is open for business, and do we have some cool swag for you to pick up? All you have to do is head over to our website and click on the SOR Vault. You have a variety of cool logos to choose from, and put them on anything you want. T-shirts, hoodies, hats, coffee mugs, you name it, we can get it to you. So do your shopping by supporting the store you love. Get your Spaced Out Radio swag at the SOR Vault today.
Hello, Space Travelers. It's me again, Carl. Don't forget to join the Space Travelers Club for just $5 a month and follow Spaced Out Radio on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio. Our Instagram, Dave Scott SOR. Our Facebook page is Spaced Out Radio Show. Our archives are free at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Come woo it up with Spaced Out Radio today. Bye!
We all know on Spaced Out Radio we love a good beard and mustache, so why not take care of your facial hair with Mighty Moose Beard Oil? Made in Canada, we're taking care of beards and stashes around the world. We use 100% natural ingredients with our oils and balms to make your whiskers feel silky smooth. Use promo code SOR2019 at mightymoosebeard.com today.
For the price of 1 cup of coffee a month, you can become an SOR Space Traveler. The Space Travelers Club is a place where you can interact with other listeners, either live during the show or on our great forum. We want your stories, pictures, comments, and ideas. You'll get live video streams, exclusive content, and be a part of our newsletter. Stay in touch with everything SOR. The Space Travelers Club is just $5 a month at spacedoutradio.com.
Visit purpleplates.com today. For over 40 years, the Purple Energy Plates have been delivering amazing results for their many customers. Inspired by the great genius Nikola Tesla, the harmony, healing, and energetic effects of the plates have proven over and over to be beneficial and often miraculous to thousands of customers. Check their site for daily specials and choose from their many energy products. You won't be sorry. Visit them today at purpleplates.com.
Get your horns up with me on Spaced Out Radio. This is Ron Bumblefoot Thal. Come tune in to SOR where you can hear me rock out with Little Brother Is Watching, the official theme song of Spaced Out Radio. And then come on over to bumblefoot.com where you can find out about my tour schedule, my music, and everything else. Bumblefoot.com keeps you up to date on what I'm doing and the best way to stay in touch with my music and music camps. Sign up for my newsletter at bumblefoot.com and remember, Little Brother Is Watching.
Hi there, this is Geraldine Orozco from San Francisco's Bay Area Meditation. I invite you to join me the first Tuesday of every month with Dave Scott for Spaced Out Radio's The Spiritual You. In this fast-paced world we live in, it's time for you to take some time for you. We'll cover every possible subject from powerful meditation to healing techniques to your own intuition and spirituality. So come join us for The Spiritual You.
We are scouring the world for the most intriguing stories of your day. Take the time to read up on the SOR Newswire, where our team, led by Captain Shirk, will deliver to you some of the best paranormal and supernatural news, along with some stories that will blow your mind from the weird to the wacky. It's the news outside the news that piques interest, and that's what we're looking to deliver to you. The SOR Newswire, only at spacedoutradio.com.
Hi, this is Amber Beckrud, and I want to invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel where we store all of the SOR show archives for free. And as an added bonus, every 2 weeks I'm posting brand new content on Cryptid Tales, where I will get into some of the spookier legends and folklore from around the world and tell the stories that go with them. Find us at youtube.com/spacedoutradio and check out Cryptid Tales today. Drop a comment and let me know what you want to hear. See you there.
I'm feeling a little spicy tonight. What to do? What to do?
Why not get Bumblefuck?
4 million Scoville units of pure hard rock. Bumblefoot hot sauces come in 3 flavors. The burning Bumble. Tone it down a bit with Bumblicious and throw the sauce on everything.
Spice it up. Bumble me, baby. Bumblefoot hot sauce. Get it today at kajans.com.
You're listening to Spaced Out Radio with Dave Scott. Follow Dave on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio and on Facebook, Spaced Out Radio Show.
Hour number 2 of Spaced Out Radio is underway tonight. I am your host, Dave Scott. Thank you so much for joining us. We want to give a shout-out to everyone listening in on WQEE 99.1 FM in Newnan, Georgia, UPRN 107.7 FM in New Orleans, in Ridgecrest, California, KZFX 93.7 FM, in Reedsport, Oregon, AM 1030, KDUN, and down in Dangerfield, Texas, we're on KDNF, AM 1560. On the digital side, we're proud to broadcast on Kingdom of Nye Radio and Revolution Radio. Remember, you can check out all of our archives for free. Go to youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Do me the favor, hit that subscribe button. The Desert Clam has set the password for tonight in the SOR Space Travelers Club. Nubble. Nubble is your password. Use it wisely, Space Travelers, as the Clam sets the password each and every night right here on Spaced Out Radio. Our website is spacedoutradio.com. We got a plethora of features for you. Rock out to Bumblefoot, do a little shopping at the SOR Vault, grab a great book from We Read the Night. Join the Space Travelers for $5 a month, and Captain Shirk has you all up to date on the SOR Newswire. Reminder, it is Friday night. So after tonight's show, if you want to come join us, you can come join the Super Chat on YouTube. We're going to go live on YouTube. Ask Me Anything. We do it every Friday night, and I will answer your questions, if you have any, or you just want to hang on out with us in the crowd, starting at about 12:05 Pacific, 3:05 a.m. Eastern. I know it's Valentine's, but guess what? Old Davy is here for you. We're talking Sasquatch tonight out of the province of Ontario in Canada, and it's a big province, a forested province, a province with lots of water, too. And we're talking Bigfoot. Tom Andritsos is our guest tonight. Tom, welcome back.
Thank you, Dave. Much appreciated. Thank you.
Absolutely. We're glad to have you here as well. So, when you saw that juvenile creature,
yes,
how long was it before you saw the next Sasquatch?
I'd say about two years after that, roughly, in the same roughly the same area, roughly 2 years.
And what did it look like comparatively to the other one?
They both look close together. Same brown hair, just short brown hair. Brown hair, short. The one had fur. One had hair on its face, and the other one, the first one, the juvenile, had no hair. It looked like it was like a tan color, like the skin, dark tan. But the other one had fur hair covered. That was I crossed the road in front of me. It was all what do you call it? It was all just all hair. It was weird. It turned and looked at me as it crossed it was like there was a shimmering light off the lake. Like I don't know if you've ever experienced that. It was like a golden color from the late. It was about dinner time, 6:30 in the evening. Driving from up north, a couple hours up north, and up and down. I hit a relatively flat section of highway after a few hills, and heading southbound. And the angle of the sun. 6:30, hitting the lake. It had a golden shimmering effect where it would, wherever the tree line lining the lakes, the lake there, and the lake was only about 5 feet from 6 feet from the road in certain areas. There was from the angle of the sun hitting it, it would shimmer right onto the road and shimmer right onto from hitting the lake water, shimmer right covering the tree line right across the street in some spots, right? And as I'm driving slowly, I see this sections of this shimmering light coming through the tree line, and as I entered the next stretch, about 100 feet of it, something ahead of me, and I had slowed down to take a view in from the lake to admire this spectacular view. When I seen something ahead of me, at first it looked like a dark shadow because of the light, and then it was actually, as I got closer, I slowed down. I thought I was going to hit it, and once it crossed the median into the opposite lane, it turned, just the upper body turned, just like in the movie, the Patterson-Gimlin movie, where it does that famous turn. But this was the opposite way, from the center towards the left. Took a look at me, only the upper body where it turned, right? Head and shoulders, chest, but the waist was still in the same motion. Turned and took a look at me, and sort of, like, it was weird. I got like the spiritual connection with it somehow, and told me, everything's all right, whatever. And I just stopped and watched it just disappear, cross the road, finish crossing the road, and disappear into the tree line. And that's it. No looking back, nothing. I backed up and took it all in there, and wondered, what did I just see? I said, that was no bear. It was about 7-8 feet tall. Anything else?
Well, when you saw this as 7-8 feet tall, how close to it was it from you?
Oh, I'd say no more than 30 feet. 30 feet, sitting in my Blazer truck, sitting straight up, up in the air. Wasn't a car, truck, SUV type truck. So I had a clear view of the road in front of me, a really clear view, and huge windows, nothing, It just, I couldn't believe this was happening because I didn't see it coming from the lake. There was just lake there, there was nowhere really to hide. And all of a sudden it just came it was there, obviously, and then it just started crossing the street. Like I said, I had slowed down to take in the view, first of all, before seeing the creature. Right? As I turned, to look towards the road, I seen something crossing in front of me, and I slowed down. And I said, where did that come from? Right? I said, it had to be standing by the trees there. Right?
So when you have a close encounter like that, within 30, 40 feet.
Right.
I mean, even when you're in your own vehicle, I bet you're not feeling very safe.
No, I was at that moment. No, I wasn't. I didn't. You're right. I didn't. I had that sort of weird feeling. Right, like I said, you're right. I did. I was sort of worried about hitting it, and also worried. I didn't know what it was at first. Right. Yeah. Right. And then I did. I was overcome with a bit of fear. You're absolutely right on that. Right.
Did you stop, or did you get the hell out of Dodge?
No, I stopped. I stopped in all my encounters. I've never, ever ran away, never in fear ran away. I'm weird. Other people have these encounters once, and they're terrified for life, But me, no. I don't know why. It's like the cat with the curiosity, I don't know why. It's like it was meant to happen. That kind of feeling, like it's supposed to happen for some reason. I'm being shown things, slowly being shown things along the way. It's like you can't have the whole pie, you can only have a piece of the pie till you get to the end. And there's a prize inside or something.
So when you made eye contact with this creature,
yes,
did it make eye contact back? And if so, what was that like?
That's exactly. It looked right at me, and I looked at it at its eyes, and what it was. How can I put it in? It was like I said. It was like a spiritual connection. It told me everything was okay. Not like I'm not going to hurt you. It sort of relayed a message to me. We call it ESP. That's what I call it. Some kind of thoughts, just a simple thought, more like a feeling than actual words. All right, it gave me this feeling like everything's okay. Don't be afraid. Everything's okay. I'm not going to hurt you. Type of feeling. But I was scared. I stopped and I backed up after, and was thinking about like what just happened here. I stayed there for about 10, 15 minutes, taking it all in before a car eventually came by. About 10, 12 minutes later, a car drove by. And then another one, and then there was about 5, 7 more minutes. I stayed and then said, I better go. As the light then was starting to shift, and the shimmering light was starting to dissipate. But that shimmering light was lasting for about 20 minutes altogether when I first seen it coming down from the down into the valley from the hill up top.
So when you had this experience and you started getting what this telepathic type communication,
yes,
I mean, how confused were you that it was like you were hearing the creature's thoughts?
Yeah, it was confusing. It was like I said, it was like it was more like an overall, like a feeling. You can say, but also at the same time there was a thought. I received a thought saying everything's don't be afraid, everything's all right. I'm not going to hurt you, right? And I'm like, even though I was in my truck, I was still scared. I don't know why, but I thought this thing could hurt me. Yes, I did. I really thought that at that time. But
interesting.
Not enough to hit the gas and take off. I was more curious. I don't know why. I've always been curious whenever I seen them.
Well, many people have talked about, especially hunters who have come across this creature, have talked about getting some sort of telepathic message, especially when a firearm is raised to this creature, and they always get that feeling like it's not a good idea to raise the rifle to this creature.
Yes,
Yet your telepathic communication with it, which I find completely intriguing and not out of the norm, as weird as that sounds, I find that extremely interesting that this creature was telling you, hey, dude, don't worry. Everything's going to be okay. Just chill out.
Right. If it wasn't for that, I would have probably left. You know, it convinced me to stay, like to take it all in. You know, like you're right. My fears were calmed down to where I started getting intrigued. Otherwise, no, I wouldn't have been intrigued. I would have got out of Dodge pronto, right? If I thought I was in danger. At first I thought I was going to be attacked when I first seen it. That, you know, crossing this, and it did. It was crossing on a 45-degree angle away from me, right? Not towards me, but away from me. And I said, why would it take the long route? I couldn't figure that part out. Why wouldn't it just cross straight across where it could easily have been in the other lane and into the woods long before I would reach it? Do you understand that? I couldn't understand why it was crossing on a 45-degree angle when it knew it was coming down the road. That was the part that always intrigued me, right? And then it turning, like I said, from the center, like it's towards its left to look at me, only the upper body. And it looked right at me, and I looked at it and had made eye contact for a couple seconds as it was crossing the road. Like, it didn't stop. It kept crossing on that 45-degree angle as it turned and looked at me for a couple steps. And it didn't, you know, hello?
Yeah, we got you.
Okay,
Keep going.
okay. I thought I disconnected. All right. And, yeah, I couldn't understand why it did that. And at the same time, as it purposely, and it could have taken, you know, a couple of steps, and it would have cleared the whole highway, right? It took smaller steps. I noticed that. Once it got past, like, had the eye contact and then the thought contact, you know, and then told me everything's okay, whatever. I agreed, like, you know, okay. I said to myself, I guess it must have read that somehow, got that feeling off of me. I understood. Then once it stepped onto the gravel, boom, boom, it was gone. Like, you know, the big steps all of a sudden were in play, but it was only small steps crossing the highway. Okay, you know, you've heard people say encounters where, you know, 2 steps it cleared the whole highway. You know, not in this case. It was taking small steps. It purposely wanted to see me. Like I said, it was meant to happen. Okay, I've heard other people talk about that, but others no. They didn't notice or whatever. They're not ready for it. It was an accidental sighting. But mine, I always believe they were all purposely planned, whether in advance or not. I don't know about that stuff. But I do know at that moment I was meant to see this. Interesting.
Yeah, I totally find that interesting because a lot of people who have had Sasquatch encounters feel that it was their time, that it was their moment, that they knew this would be the time where they saw something absolutely incredible. Now, leading up to that, did you have any sort of inkling or clue that there would be something special happening with you that day?
You know, yeah, I did. I just had this feeling I had to leave, but I wanted to leave earlier, like 4 or 5 o'clock, but something was telling me, no, it's not time yet. I don't know why. Something was telling me it's not time yet. It's like I was told what time to leave, sort of. I don't know if anyone, you know, if any of your viewers might understand that part, but it's like you were delayed, purposely delayed, right? And then it's like I said, nobody was on the road at this time. Do you understand that part? There was like,
yes.
Usually there's always somebody coming or going, but the road was empty. And I was like surprised. I wanted to leave at this time to avoid, it's a long weekend. I'm leaving early. I was up already for a couple of days. I wanted to leave early. Instead of a Monday, I wanted to leave on a Saturday evening, early, 6, 7 o'clock, 5, 6 o'clock, avoid the traffic. I've already been up north for 3-4 days. All right, the party's over, the fishing's done. It's time to head home and restock, refuel, whatever, all that. Go back to work, whatever was
Right.
in the agenda at that time. Right? Hello? Okay.
Yeah, very much so. Very
Right.
much so.
Right. Okay. Yes, that's what I'm saying. It was odd that there was. I thought, I knew there was going to be, low traffic, but I didn't expect next to no traffic during this time period. I was really shocked as I was driving along. I hadn't seen a car for 10 minutes when this happened, and for another 10 minutes afterwards. For 20 minutes, nobody came by either way. As I drove towards this, where the encounter happened, and I parked right there. I backed up and sat in the light, with the view of the lake to my right, through the window, only 5-6 feet away from me, right? Nobody came by. 10 minutes, at least 10, 12 minutes afterwards. And I took note of the time to see when the next car would come and how long. For some strange reason, I did that. I waited till the next car came, and then waited just a couple more minutes. Another car came, and I said, it's time to go. As I pulled over, I had pulled over to the shoulder. At first, I had stopped right in the middle of the road, right? And yes, and like I said, I made eye contact. It made eye contact with me. I was scared. Like I said, at first, I was really scared. That everyone has that overcoming feeling of fear of the unknown.
Yes.
When you realize it wasn't a bear. Walking across the road like that.
Tom, this leads to a question from Nikki in our chat room, who is asking, when you received the telepathic message from Sasquatch, did it feel like it could harm you without even touching you?
No, I got the physical fear, the physical harm fear only, not anything, spiritual or psychically or whatever, telepathically. No, I felt it could hurt me physically if it wanted to. That's the fear I had.
All right. Another question coming from Sparkles, as we got about 90 seconds here before we go to break at the bottom of the hour. Sparkles is asking, Tom, have you ever been able to capture a picture of any of these Bigfoot encounters you've had?
Not from the encounters, just other. I haven't verified it 100% yet to say it's a 100% encounter at the time. At this moment, still working on those pictures. I have some strange stuff, but I can't at this moment verify it 100% until I can, and from which location. Then yes, I will spread that news, but not at this moment. From my own encounters, no. I found a lot of times it's because no gun, no camera. We were open to these kind of encounters. I know other people have had these same kind of encounters. A lot of times, I find, like in the States, where it's a different attitude because due to hunting, people with guns. Up here in Ontario, very few have guns out in the woods, only during hunting season, but it's not like the States. I think the Sasquatch know that, and there's less trepidation about us here in Ontario. If that's the same in BC, I'm not sure. But here in Ontario, there's more, they have less fear from the humans, right?
Right. Well, that sounds great. You know what? I'm going to get you to hold on right now because we are going to go to break here at the bottom of the hour. We're going to continue talking Sasquatch here with researcher Tom Andritsos. He's out of the province of Ontario in Canada. Scarborough is his town. Good hockey around there. Very good hockey. And he's not a Leafs fan, which makes him a pretty good guy. And that's why we got him on. We're going to learn more about Bigfoot. What is it? When we come back on Spaced Out Radio.
Hey everybody, the SOR Space Travelers is open. For just $5 a month, you can hang out with Dave and our crew privately in our members-only section. With your signing, you'll receive newsletters on what's going on with Spaced Out Radio. You'll have direct contact with the host during the show in our chat, live streaming videos, and a great forum for your posts and more. Become a space traveler now at spacedoutradio.com.
We're bringing you something new to the documentary world. Beyond the Spectrum will take you on an historic tour of topics like no other: Sasquatch, UFOs, government secrecy, and more, keeping you on the edge of your seats through the eyes of legendary truth seekers like Steve Bassett, Richard Dolan, Dr. Jeff Meldrum, and Jack Casher. Head on over to Amazon Prime or Tubi TV and check us out. Please leave a comment for the filmmakers on their film's Amazon page.
At spacedoutradio.com, we are keeping you up to date on all the news with the SOR Newswire. Captain Shirk leads the team that is bringing you the news of the day and exclusive stories on everything paranormal and supernatural. It's free to read, it's updated daily, and it's right there for you. The SOR Newswire is a one-stop shop for the news of the day. Check it out at spacedoutradio.com today.
You wanted new SOR gear, and now you can have it. The SOR Vault is fully stocked with t-shirts, hats, hoodies, mugs, and everything in between, with great logos for you to choose from. So head on over to spacedoutradio.com, click on the SOR Vault, and go shopping. Pricing is quite affordable, and you can look good representing your favorite show. So go to our website and pick up your new SOR wear at the SOR Vault today.
Cold drinks, great food, and the best music in Vancouver. The Moose Vancouver is the place to be, open until 2 a.m. nightly. Everything on the menu starts at just $6.95. Who serves food that cheap anymore? At the Moose, you'll never know who you'll run into. Rock stars, actors, athletes. It's the place everyone wants to be. So join us at the Moose Vancouver, the official party bar of Spaced Out Radio.
Hello, Space Travelers. It's me again, Carl. Don't forget to join the Space Travelers Club for just $5 a month and follow Spaced Out Radio on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio. Our Instagram, Dave Scott SOR. Our Facebook page is Spaced Out Radio Show. Our archives are free at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Come woo it up with Spaced Out Radio today. Bye!
If you like it hot, real hot, then heat up your meals with Bumblefoot hot sauce.
Get your Bumblefoot hot sauce today. The sauce, Bumblicious, and the 4 million Scoville unit Bumble. We're going in hot, real hot, coming out even hotter.
Keep the milk nearby and tantalize your taste buds tonight.
Bumblefoot hot sauce, available now at kajans.com.
We're adding to the entertainment online for Spaced Out Radio. I'm Amber Beckrud, and I want to invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out Cryptid Tales, where I will take you on a journey into some of the strangest legends and lore from around the world, relaying the stories to you of the strange creatures and experiences that people have had throughout time. You can find Cryptid Tales at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio, and while you're there, don't forget to check out our free archives and leave a comment. See you there.
Hey, space travelers, this is John Resig, founder of the Chive and Chive Charities. If you know anything about our website, you know we like to do things a little differently. We're not some faceless organization collecting money for a nebulous cause. Our donor dollars go directly toward life-improving items. Then we give those items directly to an underdog who needs it most. To become a donor with Spaced Out Radio's official charity, Chive Charities, just go to chivecharities.org/donate.
Are you looking for great advertising value for your company? Look no further than Spaced Out Radio. We have a multitude of places to get your name out there, including commercial ads during the show, special promotions, and banners on our website. Our audience is proven to support the companies that support our show. We can make your budget work for you. So for more information, please contact us at sales@spacedoutradio.com.
From the heartlands of Canada to beards around the world, we know how to take care of you. Fill your follicles with the Mighty Moose Beard Oil. All our oils and balms are handmade and 100% natural ingredients because we care about your beard. And hey, use the promo code SOR2019 and get your Mighty Moose Beard Oil today. You can check us out on our website, mightymoosebeard.com.
Finish off your weekend and kick off your new week with me, Everett Themer, right here on Spaced Out Sundays. I'm going to bring you great guests, a little bit of snark, and plenty of information to think about. But don't worry, there's going to be plenty of woo as well. We are going to hit everything in the paranormal and supernatural, including the odd Psychic Sundays. So tune us in on Sunday, 9:06 p.m. Pacific, 12:06 a.m. Eastern, right here at spacedoutradio.com.
Hello, this is your guitar man, Ron Bumblefoot Thal, and I have to tell you, I love the response I get for Little Brother is Watching from Spaced Out Radio fans. It's amazing how music can inspire and make people think deeper about what's going on in the supernatural world. You can head over to my website, bumblefoot.com, to check out my music, my guitar workshops, my touring, even check out some of the hot sauces that I'm working on. And make sure you keep on listening, because with Spaced Out Radio, you know Little Brother is watching.
We pass the halfway point of Spaced Out Radio tonight. I am your host, Dave Scott, sitting in the captain's chair of SOR headquarters. Great to have all of you with us. Reminder to all of you that if you've missed portions of this show or others, you can check out our free archives. Go to youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Do me the favor, hit that subscribe button. Our website is spacedoutradio.com, where we have a plethora of features for you. Rock out to Bumblefoot, do a little shopping at the SOR Vault. Grab a great book from We Read the Night. Join the Space Travelers for $5 a month, and Captain Shirk has you all up to date on the SOR Newswire. Tonight we are talking with Sasquatch researcher Tom Andritsos, and we are talking Ontario Bigfoot in the central part of Canada. Tom, welcome back to the show.
All right, thank you. You know, it's the Valentine's Day is long weekend here in Ontario.
Same here.
I got to give a shout out to my partner Heather and to a bro, Mark's Show Me Sasquatch. All right? Sounds good? All right.
Perfect. Okay.
All
right. Let's move on here, because we got a lot to cover, and we only have you for about another hour on this show. And you had an interesting encounter with a Sasquatch in the province of Alberta one time when you were heading west.
Yes.
What happened there?
Well, yes. We had a favorite spot. We'd, ride out from the city about a good hour and a half, hard ride on mountain bikes, hard ride, fast, hard. And the Bull River there was a spot. We'd go fishing. My friend would go fishing. I would just sit there and admire nature, watch the water, listen to the water, stuff like that. And there would be a little camping spot, one, just a single overnight spot, one spot. We camped there every now and then, during the summer, back in 2001. So, like I said, we must have gone at least 20 times to the same spot. But all of a sudden, during late August, it was Saskatoon berry season, as we're riding out towards our site. And we'd stop along the way and, refresh on the berries. And where the campsite was, there was an old berry patch, a couple old trees. And with the biggest Saskatoon berries you ever seen, ripe, before all the other ones were still semi-ripe. So we were... during this 1 week, late August, there 1 week, it happened over about 3-4, I'd say a good 5 days. I felt we were being stalked all of a sudden after continuously. How would I say it? I just had this weird feeling continuously while we're going there. All right, so okay, so let's see. So the one day we were stopped. We stopped just before the site, and my friend was a competitive type. Always wanted to lead the way. He didn't like it when I passed him on the trails, on the bike paths. So he says, you earned it. You worked hard all summer. You can lead the way. You can lead the way. I think he sensed danger for some reason. Right? And I said, all right. So I'm leading the way. All of a sudden, I have a rock tossed out in front of me from on the side of the ridge. That's about 10, 15 feet from the bike path. Right? I see a rock about knee high come out from the side of on the left hand side where the ridge was, and to the right across the field is where the river is. About a football field across, just under a football field across, is where the river was. So not even about 3/4 of the way would be a football field. All right, so then as I'm riding towards this, I have a rock tossed out, and it lands right in the middle of the white line on the bike path, right? It was like semi-round. It looked roundish, the rock, and it rolled, hit the bike path, rolled, and stopped dead center on the white line separating the two paths. Left, one way left, the other way. One way, whatever the direction was, west, north, south, east. So it'd be east and west or north and south, whichever way the path was going. Right in the dead center. So as I'm driving, I see this, and a second rock comes out and lands like inches from the first rock. Same thing, hit the bike path, rolled, and stopped dead center again on the white line. Okay, I'm like, what's going on? So I stop. I get off my bike. I'm thinking there's an earthquake or something, or tremor or something. Why did a rock roll out, like that? And I'm like, no, that was too much force for a rock to come out like that, So, we're looking around, but I'm getting this weird telepathic message telling me to send my friend away. He got off his bike, mountain bike also. We got our camping gear and stuff like that, and fishing rod, whatever. But I'm getting this telepathic message to send my friend away. And I'm like, okay. I had picked up the rocks at this time, and we're holding them in my left hand, wondering what's going on, right? And they were both rounded. I said, these look almost like river-type rocks or something, but they were like almost round, but not quite. A few bumps here and there, but enough to make them roll. So I sent my friend away. I said, go about 100 feet, I told him. Go back to where we started almost, once we crossed the train switchback. I said, go back there and look, see if there's any more rocks, anything unusual, right? I sent him back there. I know he's going to be there for a few minutes, right? So, and I was told to do this. So I did, and then for some reason I'm looking around, and I had noticed a shadow as I was just before I stopped. I noticed a large shadow, huge shadow, 8-foot shadow, going zigzag up the side of the ridge, about 40 feet up, right? And then about 5 times zigzag, 1, 2, 3, 4, 40 feet, 8 times 5, 40 feet, up the side of the ridge to the top, and disappeared. The shadow disappeared as I rode up to the rocks. So I sent him away. I made sure I waited. I'm pretending I'm looking around. I was actually looking for any other rocks or anything. Nothing. Just these 2 rocks. There was very shallow grass leading up to the ridge, and shallow sparse grass. So I looked down. Okay, he's far enough, I said. Okay, so I started walking towards the ridge where I seen the shadow. All of a sudden, I'm looking up on the ridge. I followed the pattern up the ridge, the way it went, and I look. I make it right up to the top of the ridge. I could see on top of the ridge is a huge cedar tree. I mean, like huge, like 3 feet across, 3-4 feet across, almost 3 feet across in circumference, radius, whatever, and huge. huge. The other ones were all half the size. I said, I never noticed that tree before, right? Just absolutely massive compared to all the other trees. All of a sudden, the creature steps away from behind the tree and out into the open and looks at me, right? Sort of, hello? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, yeah, okay. And looks at me and with a scowl on its face. I get scared. I'm like, what is this? Is this a bear or what? Like when I first seen it, standing on whatever, I just wasn't sure what it was at first. And I said, no, maybe it's and then as soon as I realized it wasn't a human playing a trick or something, and I realized it was real, I turned and not ran, but like ran sort of about 10, 15 steps, and like just a slight turn around to go past the tree there out of view, and I stopped dead in my tracks, and I said, wait a minute. For some strange reason, I stopped and said, wait a minute, you don't see one of these things every day. Turned and looked and went back, turned and started walking back, and there it was still there, standing there looking at me. Hadn't left. I was surprised it was still there, just standing and watching me, looking right at me, and I looking at it back. And I then came up, I don't know if it was communicating with me telepathically, something. I'm standing there, and so I spread my arms out, like a cross sort of, and with my palms open, face up in the air, with the two rocks in my left hand that it had thrown out, and I'm holding them straight out, and my other palm open, showing I don't have a weapon in my hands. My palms are, and and all of a sudden it raised its arms and mimicked, and it was mimicking what I was doing. Strange or what? Yes. Okay, but it had its whole face was covered in hair, right? Around the eyes, everything. It had it was a reddish brown color. This one, yeah, whereas the other ones were brown, dark brown. This one was reddish brown, like a reddish color, almost. And it was about 6.5, 6'8", 6'7" to 7 feet tall max. It wasn't over 7 feet tall, right? And it looked like a young adult, very young adult. But it was massive. I mean, massive. The upper chest, shoulders were massive. I lifted weights and all that stuff. I had a big tapered, big chest, 48 size chest. It was double my size, my chest, double. I couldn't believe, but a smaller waist, but massive. I couldn't believe how twice the size of what I looked like. I thought I was big, huge, and the hair on the arms, 6 to 8 feet 8 inches long, hanging down the arms, like on how you've seen orangutans, how they have that hair hanging down on their arms. Yeah, it looked almost like that, but different. And the hair was super fine, right? It had the sun, the 2 o'clock sun on its back. So, and you could see individual globules of oil on each individual strand of hair, almost. Like not every single hair, but there were tons of globules of oil shining in the sun. You could see the individual globules, one on each, I can't remember if it was every strand, but there was a lot of strands which had these globules of oil glistening in the midday sun, afternoon sun there. It was amazing, and not a single knot anywhere on this creature. And it had, like I said, anywhere from 4 to 6 to 8 inches long hair in certain areas, 3 to 4 inches in some areas, and 6 to 8 inches in other areas, like the arms, hanging down off the arms, especially from the elbow joint there down towards the wrist. That's where the longest hair was on this creature. But remarkable. You could see the individual strands of hair due to the sun on its back, and like I said, not a single knot anywhere. It looked immaculate. It looked like a rock star of Bigfoot. Put it that way, Sasquatch. I mean, he looked good. Like, I couldn't believe how this guy looked fabulous. I hear stories of, they look, trampy and matted hair and this, and not this guy. This guy, he looked fabulous. He looked like a long-haired rock and roll type of dude,
That's more West Coast Sasquatch. More West Coast, carrying the soy latte and, probably a doobie in the other hand, because, the hippie lettuce is everywhere in BC and Alberta. But with that being said, and the experience that you had,
right? I just want to make a point here. The ones in Ontario, their hair was way coarser than the one in Alberta that time I seen. Right? It was really long and fine hair. Right? The ones in Ontario had way more coarser, thicker hair, and it's almost like a pointy design here in Ontario, like coming down to a point where you could see individual strands like hanging down. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't like sections. It was like all just flowing, natural flowing style. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
How quickly did it get away from you before your friend came back?
Oh, I'd say the encounter must have lasted about 30 seconds. As my friend started coming closer, it looked tilted its head towards the way it was. My friend was coming, and as he got closer, then it was time to go. He turned, and it was a male. Obviously, it was a male, 100% male, no female parts, no whatever. I couldn't see his male parts either. They were covered in hair. So he had long hair, and it was covered. And but when he turned, like I said, the head, originally, when I first seen it, it was a full frontal view. So the head looked right sunken into the shoulders when you looked at it straight on, right? I couldn't see no neck. Right, and a small roundish type head. But when it turned and gave me the side glance and lifted its foot and the side glance, the jaw was massive. Like you couldn't tell how big the jaw was when you looked at it straight on. But when it turned, that jaw was 3 times the human-sized jaw. Okay, if just picture that, folks, 3 times the size. Okay, of what our jaw is like. I couldn't believe that. I was in shock when I seen that, how big that jaw was. That scared me, actually. Then you could tell how much power it takes to move a jaw like that,
Did you see any teeth?
No, he didn't smile. He just sort of like grinned, like smiled, but without his mouth open. Right? No teeth, just a smile, like grin. He grinned at me. He was grinning, but looking sort of not a full grin, like just like me. I guess he was mimicking what I was doing. I had my mouth open, like not open, but like a semi sort of smile, right?
Yes.
Sort of grin. That he was mimicking what I was doing. So that was strange. But like I said, but when he turned and gave me that side glance, he turned to his left. And he took a couple steps and went behind the huge cedar tree. And I'm thinking he's going to peek out behind the cedar tree. Oh, yeah, for sure he's going to peek out at me. He's going to peek out at me. He didn't peek out. I thought for sure he's going to take a peek, before he disappears for good. But I was overcome with this fear not to go up on the ridge to look for him. I was told not to go. Don't come looking, I was told. And my friend finally gets to me and says, "What'd you see? What'd you see?" My friend Rich there says, "What'd you see? What'd you see?" I'm like, I seen and before I could spit out Bigfoot, all of a sudden bear came to my mouth, and I didn't tell him. I couldn't tell him. I didn't, for some reason, I wasn't supposed to tell him. I got a message not to tell. I said, "It's a bear." A bear? He didn't believe me, but he knew I was looking at something. He could just tell as he was approaching that I was looking at something. A bear? I tried to sort of convince him. It worked, I guess, for whatever, because he asked me again later, and I said it was a bear, right? He had some doubt, but that's all he could do. But he knew I was looking at something. I seen something. I was staring at something, or whatever it was, right? He just knew. So, but I got a message telepathically, I guess, not to tell. I wasn't allowed to tell. I've had a few of those messages where the encounter's only for me, or whatever's happening, it's only for me, nobody else. Okay?
Right.
Yeah, that was strange. That was like a major one there. That was a major time I was told I'm not allowed to tell, no matter what. I can't tell. So,
yeah. Does Sasquatch... has it left you any gifts? Did it leave you anything behind that you could take with you? Like a lot of times people will find rocks or certain sticks that have been bent strangely into patterns or anything.
Yeah, that's strange. I read about that stuff. I've seen, pictures and stuff. I've had strange stuff like 3 balloons, tied in front of a 100-foot tree there across from my balcony here in Scarborough, Valentine's Day 2 years ago. So, right, which lasted they stayed there for 2 months, 3 helium balloons. So, right across from my balcony on the thinnest branches, Yeah, our balcony here, where we live, 100 feet up in the air, right across on the tree in the little woods here. Yes. So, but on the trails and that, no. Sometimes my partner's found a marble here and there, and the odd stick stuff and feathers. But I just pick it up, look at it, admire it, say thank you, and put it back. I don't really bring them home or anything. I had a bad experience once finding indigenous or native tools, stone tools. I had bad dreams, bad daydreams, dreams where I was being tortured in my dreams. So by these native people, I had found 3 pieces of stone tools. I had to bring them back. They're close to on the Ontario side. I found them near Winnipeg, on the Ontario side of the border, and ever since I got those, like I found them on the way back to Toronto, and I had to go back after 3 days here. I wasn't planning to go back. I had to go back and deliver these stones. I made it close. I didn't make it back to the original place, but I made it a few hundred miles away. I'd say about 400 miles away, 300-400 miles away there, Sault Ste. Marie. There was still another 6-8 hours to go. I just couldn't take it anymore. Even on the bus, I felt like I was getting tortured in my, every time I closed my eyes. I was like being physically tortured in my sleep, I don't know. It's a weird feeling. That's why I always say be careful what you find and pick up and bring home, right? I don't know if any of your viewers can tweet you if they've had that kind of experience before. That would be interesting to hear that, finding, some kind of artifacts or whatever. And as soon as I knew Sault Ste. Marie here in Northern Ontario is a native lands there from long ago, from the pioneer days, from the Voyager days, right? From the Voyagers.
Tom, I'm going to get you to hold on right there because we are going to be going out for our break here at the top of the hour. We got another 30 minutes with Tom Andritsos as we talk Ontario Bigfoot. What is the creature? Is it an animal? Is it something more? We'll find out with Tom coming up next in Hour 3 of Spaced Out Radio. Stay tuned.
For the price of 1 cup of coffee a month, you can become an SOR Space Traveler. The Space Travelers Club is a place where you can interact with other listeners, either live during the show or on our great forum. We want your stories, pictures, comments, and ideas. You'll get live video streams, exclusive content, and be a part of our newsletter. Stay in touch with everything SOR. The Space Travelers Club is just $5 a month at spacedoutradio.com.
Hello everyone, this is Ryan Stacy from the Experiencer Support Association, otherwise known as TESSA. We're glad to team up with Spaced Out Radio to help investigate your experiences on the SOR Sightlines Report. Together, we'll investigate the strange sightings and occurrences you've had. We're looking for answers just like you. So fill out a Sightlines Report on the Spaced Out Radio website and let's figure out what's going on together.
Hello, space travelers. It's me again, Carl. Don't forget to join the Space Travelers Club for just $5 a month and follow Spaced Out Radio on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio. Our Instagram, Dave Scott SOR. Our Facebook page is Spaced Out Radio Show. Our archives are free at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Come woo it up with Spaced Out Radio today. Bye!
I'm feeling a little spicy tonight. What to do?
Why not get Bumblefuck?
4 million Scoville units of pure hard rock. Bumblefoot hot sauces come in 3 flavors. The burning Bumble. Tone it down a bit with Bumblicious and throw the sauce on everything.
Spicing up. Bumble me, baby. Bumblefoot hot sauce. Get it today at kajans.com.
Hello, this is your guitar man, Ron Bumblefoot Thal, and I have to tell you, I love the response I get for Little Brother is Watching from Spaced Out Radio fans. It's amazing how music can inspire and make people think deeper about what's going on in the supernatural world. You can head over to my website, bumblefoot.com, to check out my music, my guitar workshops, my touring, even check out some of the hot sauces that I'm working on. And make sure you keep on listening, because with Spaced Out Radio, you know Little Brother is watching.
Hey, space travelers, this is John Resig, founder of the Chive and Chive Charities. If you know anything about our website, you'd know we like to do things a little differently. We're not some faceless organization collecting money for a nebulous cause. Our donor dollars go directly toward life-improving items. Then we give those items directly to an underdog who needs it most. To become a donor with Spaced Out Radio's official charity, Chive Charities, just go to chivecharities.org/donate.
We're adding to the entertainment online for Spaced Out Radio. I'm Amber Beckrud, and I want to invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out Cryptid Tales, where I will take you on a journey into some of the strangest legends and lore from around the world, relaying the stories to you of the strange creatures and experiences that people have had throughout time. You can find Cryptid Tales at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. And while you're there, don't forget to check out our free archives and leave a comment. See you there.
We are scouring the world for the most intriguing stories of your day. Take the time to read up on the SOR Newswire, where our team, led by Captain Shirk, will deliver to you some of the best paranormal and supernatural news, along with some stories that will blow your mind from the weird to the wacky. It's the news outside the news that piques interest, and that's what we're looking to deliver to you. The SOR Newswire, only at spacedoutradio.com. A little bit of science, a little bit of skepticism. Add a dash of snark and you have the makings of Spaced Out Sundays with me, Everett Thieme. Together we will look into the reality of the paranormal with an open eye and rational thought. Oh, did I mention there'll be plenty of woo as well? Your time spent with Spaced Out Sundays will make the night even better. The chat rooms are open, 9:06 p.m. Pacific, 12:06 a.m. Eastern, right here at spacedoutradio.com.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
The party is always on at the Moose Vancouver. The Moose Vancouver is where you want to be when visiting Canada's West Coast. Open until 2 a.m. nightly, the Moose cranks up the rock while serving some of the best-rated food in the city. The menu starts at $6.95. Why party anywhere else in Vancouver when the Moose is right there? Get your horns up and rock with the Moose, the official party bar of Spaced Out Radio.
We all know on Spaced Out Radio we love a good beard and mustache, so why not take care of your facial hair with Mighty Moose Beard Oil? Made in Canada, we're taking care of beards and stashes around the world. We use 100% natural ingredients with our oils and balms to make your whiskers feel silky smooth. Use promo code SOR2019 at mightymoosebeard.com today.
The SOR Vault is open for business, and do we have some cool swag for you to pick up? All you have to do is head over to our website and click on the SOR Vault. You have a variety of cool logos to choose from, and put them on anything you want. T-shirts, hoodies, hats, coffee mugs, you name it, we can get it to you. So do your shopping by supporting the store you love. Get your Spaced Out Radio swag at the SOR Vault today.
Looking for creative ways to get your company out in the public? How about advertising on Spaced Out Radio? Our sales department is waiting to hear from you, and we can work around any budget. From commercial spots to banners to special promotions, there are many opportunities to get your name and product out to our SOR listeners. For a price guide and more information, please contact us at sales@spacedoutradio.com.
Visit purpleplates.com today. For over 40 years, the Purple Energy Plates have been delivering amazing results for their many customers. Inspired by the great genius Nikola Tesla, the harmony, healing, and energetic effects of the plates have proven over and over to be beneficial and often miraculous to thousands of customers. Check their site for daily specials and choose from their many energy products. You won't be sorry. Visit them today at purpleplates.com.
Would you like to connect with us? Head to spacedoutradio.com for all your latest show info. Now, back to Dave Scott and SOR.
Welcome back to the third and final hour of Spaced Out Radio tonight. I am your host, Dave Scott. Thank you so much for joining us. I want to say hello to everyone listening in on UPRN 107.7 FM in New Orleans, KDNF AM 1560 in Dangerfield, Texas, KDUN AM 1030 in Reedsport, Oregon, in Ridgecrest, California, KZFX 93.7 FM, and down in Noonan, Georgia, we say hi to Ryan and everyone at WQEE 99.1 FM. On the digital side, we're proud to broadcast on Bardell's Kingdom of Nye Radio and Revolution Radio. Great to have you with us. Remember, you can check out all of our archives for free at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Just do me the favor, hit that subscribe button. The Desert Clam has set the password for tonight in the SOR Space Travelers Club. Nubble. Nubble is your password. Use it wisely, Space Travelers, as the Clam sets a password each and every night right here on Spaced Out Radio. Our website is spacedoutradio.com, where we have a plethora of features for you. Rock out to Bumblefoot, do a little shopping at the SOR Vault, grab a great book from We Read the Night. Join the Space Travelers Club for $5 a month, and Captain Shirk has you all up to date on the SOR Newswire. Reminder to all of you that after this show ends in about 52 minutes, we're going to fire up live our YouTube channel. Go to youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Click on the live video there. And we're going to do our Friday night after party. Ask me anything about the strange and weird, and maybe I'll have an answer for you. It's all free, so make sure you check it on out and join us in the super chat. For the final time tonight, we introduce Tom Andritsos. He is a Sasquatch investigator out of Scarborough, Ontario, and we're talking Bigfoot right now. And we're talking about an encounter that you had, Tom, when you were traveling to Alberta, and you started finding some Saskatoon berries around, which are pretty yummy at the best of times, but apparently this Sasquatch didn't like it.
No, he didn't. My hands were stained purple. And my tongue was stained purple from eating all these berries, right? And so what I didn't realize was it had the tree with the berries had a marking on it. The bark was missing about 12 feet up, with a marking of half a heart, like a heart, like a Valentine's Day heart, but half a heart. The top half of the heart was missing, and only the bottom half of the heart was there, with 2 slash marks on either side of where the bottom point, where it curves up on either side, left and right. There, the bottom half of the heart, there was 2 slash marks, two cross marks, like 2 marks across the line on each side. So I guess that was a territory marker for the Sasquatch, that it was his berry patch. I hear a lot of encounters with berry patches, especially people going missing and stuff. So I don't know. I was lucky, I guess. It was really mad at me for, So, but strange as is. After the encounter, I didn't leave. I didn't tell my friend. Hold on one second. I didn't leave. I didn't tell my friend who was with me. We went to our little site there, overnight site. You're allowed one overnight use. And during the night there, I sensed it again, like later on, 1, 2 in the morning, getting late, before we crash out. I sensed it walking around where the younger trees, the younger Saskatoon berry trees were down closer to the water's edge. There was a patch of them there, but they were only some semi-ripe. Now compared to this was a prize patch that we had taken advantage of during the past week. So as we slept later, I had my mountain bike locked up, double chained to the tree on my side of the tent, right against, wedged in there between the tent and the tree was my mountain bike, and I made sure I locked it really tight, and I laid there, piled all my gear up on the sides, right? I don't know what I was expecting. I knew it was going to visit. It was going to come back. I just had that communication, like I could sense it. Like, I don't know if it was telepathic or not. But I could sense that electrical charge between us. And I looked over and seen it walking. It was dark. I could see its shape amongst the trees, walking around, waiting, pacing, sort of back and forth, waiting for us to pass out. After campfire, all that, whatever stuff. Couple beers, whatever, and boom, my friend's instantly asleep, passed out. I'm laying there, waiting, sensing hello? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, okay, sorry, my phone beeped. So waiting, anticipation's building. I know it's coming. It's coming to get me. I'm laying there. I got my buck knife out. I'm holding it. I strapped it to my hand. For some reason, I feel scared. The tension's building. I couldn't tell my friend. He would have panicked. He would have fled for the hills, sort of thing. He was out cold. But I knew it was coming. It was coming for me. I just had that feeling, that raw feeling, raw energy feeling. It's coming, and it did. Almost like your worst fear. But it wasn't like a worst. I just knew it was coming for me, and for some reason, it wasn't finished with me. I had that overwhelming sensation. This Sasquatch was not finished with me. It wanted to teach me a lesson or something. It didn't get to teach me the lesson, I guess, because my friend came back too soon when I had sent him away earlier in that day to go search for any other rocks or anything that might have rolled out from the ridge. But, you ever have that feeling, Dave? That overwhelming sensation that, that something's coming for you?
Yeah, it's called my ex-mother-in-law.
I think that I would... scariest
thing I've ever experienced.
I believe you.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't wish that on anybody, my friend. I would not wish that on anybody, and that's why we we try and I don't know, just scary as anything. Scary as anything.
Right.
So
here I'm laying there. I'm laying there. I'm not even in my sleeping bag. No way. I'm just laying there, and like I said, I strapped the my buck knife to my hand, to one of my hands there, and in case I'm gonna pull, if it sticks its head, whatever. I don't know what's got. I think it's got. If tries to cut through the tent, whatever, I'm gonna poke it in the nose. I'm saying to myself, just like a bear or something, poke it in the nose, give it a warning, take off. But it didn't. But on my side, like I said, I heard it walking. I heard it coming up, and it made a grunt noise, a slight grunt, a shallow grunt noise, like that, and hip checked my bike. It felt like it hip checked it. It didn't feel like it grabbed it. It felt like he hit it, like hip checked it, like you play hockey, a hip check.
Oh, yeah.
If you played hockey, yeah, it felt exactly like a hip check. He hip checked my bike twice, and each time he made that grunt noise, right, just before he hip checked, and he shook everything. He shook the bike, the tree, the tent. He shook everything. All right, like a message, like I can snap you in half if I want, but I'm not going to, And that was it. He scared the bejeebers out of me, right? I just can't, I just couldn't believe it. I said, Tom, what are you doing still laying here? You seen them earlier. What are you still, hours ago? Why are you still here? I don't know why. Why I didn't leave? Why I spent the night? I don't know why. And I knew it was going to come back. I just knew it. It was only no more than 300 feet to the ridge where we were camped, where I seen him. So I can't explain it. It was like I don't know why I didn't leave after the encounter. I had to stay. And then, the worst thing of all, that was nothing. Afterwards, I'm thinking, okay, I got to contact someone in BC when I get home to Ontario in a few days. It's funny how the encounter happened just three days before I left for Ontario. And when I get back, 911 happens. This was August, right at Labor Day weekend there, just before the Labor Day weekend. And a day or two, I think Thursday, Friday was the Labor Day long weekend starting, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and boom, 911 happens 11 days after, and no contact after. I can't contact anyone for the encounter. That was the worst thing.
Right.
Right? So then that went on. I thought, okay, whatever, maybe 6 months, whatever. But no, it dragged on for years. That you couldn't make long distance calls, contact people. Nobody wanted to talk. They were all scared. Whatever. It was scary times afterwards. So, so we put the encounters on back burners. For years. Don't know who to talk to. Lost touch. It took years. And then after, like I said, about 2010, 11, shows started coming on the TV, and all of a sudden, your memory started opening up again, and wow, yes, I remember, yeah, wow, what happened? Why did I put it, you just give up after a while, and it just fades back into your memory banks, and that was that's what happened to me. Otherwise, I might have been searching high and wide, up and down, high and low, far and wide, whatever it is, for them, if I had been able to contact like a Dr. Bindernagel there, back then. So, no, it was like, until I said, only the past 4-5 years, really getting into it and doing all the heavy research. Only because of fate, fate.
For sure. Hey, I want to ask you, what do you think Sasquatch is?
What do I think he is?
Yes.
Whether he's animal or subhuman or anything like that, I'd say he is. I'd say more a lost tribe, something like that. You know, not quite human, not quite bear or animal, whatever, but a gene short of becoming a human, maybe. You know, a certain gene splice. You know, even stories about, you know, interbreeding or stuff. I don't know if that's possible or not, but I think, you know, as we became humans, right? Are humans, you know, descendants of Neanderthal or separate species, same as the Sasquatch? You know, just like how there must have been multiple different species back then that either made it or didn't. So I think I put him closer to the human, closer to subhuman, I would say. Not quite more of a people type when they're in groups, and more animalistic when they're in small solo or small groups. So more dangerous, I think, you know, in very small groups, right? Compared to more larger family groups, I say they're more docile, more opportunities for food gathering and stuff, more people doing it. Same as any location. Picture a tiny little village compared to a small town. You know, same as these creatures, right? Smaller, more dangerous, I think. You know, smaller groups, individual ones, more dangerous. Larger groups, more docile, and more on the. And I still think less animal, but sometimes I don't know. They still have that animalistic way about them, but more, not quite human, sort of like, you know, the halfway mark. If that's possible, I still would put them closer to some type of subhuman, I say. Is that fair answer? Or?
Well, I mean, I think it's a fair answer. I mean, there's a lot of people who believe what the indigenous believe, which is that Sasquatch does have shape-shifting or interdimensional type qualities.
I don't know. I think they do. I think we've lost touch with our a lot of humans have lost touch, whether it's, you know, due to being surrounded by electronic devices and stuff, and also you have to be aware of that kind of stuff, and also capitalize on it. I don't think you can't just turn it on. It takes years of knowing about that and trying to use those senses. Right? Like, you know, go in the woods, put a blindfold on, sit there and just listen. Then try walking with just a blindfold on the path. See how far you can make it without killing yourself, you know? Do you understand that part? Right. Same with watch, sit, listen, you know, smell, all that. We lose sense of that, you know? Also from pollution, too. It dulls our senses. A lot of it does. So I believe our senses are enhanced. If you know how to use your senses, they're enhanced. It takes years to master that, right? Just for simple communication, right? Anything,
for sure.
Right? You believe that part? Like, you know, you can't just turn it on. I think you have to build up to that. You can't just one day decide, I'm going to start, you know, communicating with the Sasquatch. I believe they can communicate with us. It's like, you know, when a human, he feels endangered, he can use intimidation to you know, instead of physical, you know, mental telepathy. You relay a message towards the others, you know, back down, you know, it's called bluffing, you know, whatever stuff. I think they do a lot of that, bluffing. They bluff us, I think. They bluff us. Instead of actual physical violence, it's the art of bluffing, I think, you know? Almost like wrestling, you know, they try to, you know, that's not real, but still, that pose, you know, the eye contact, they intimidate you. The bigger man intimidating the smaller man, you know? The bigger animal intimidating the smaller human, right? Intimidation plays a big part, right? If they sense fear in us or danger, they will intimidate us, right? Whether it's from, rocks being thrown or certain, just that uncanny feeling of, you're being surrounded, being watched. If they have their own ways to get a human to move out of their territory without physical contact, I think they want less physical contact would be the last resort, right? But what happens then? Humans have technology. Humans can use technology to take care of a problem, whereas, brute strength is and cunning and other senses are at play for a Sasquatch. He doesn't have that technology at his play, right? Which is actually he's using all his senses to ward off the humans out of their territory. If you get that part,
that is true. That is very, very true, my friend. We've only got about 3 minutes left with you tonight, Tom. And I want to say thanks for coming on quickly here. What do you think the chances are of us ever proving the existence as a mainstream animal or creature that's walking around? Is it even possible?
No, I'd say there's about a 30% chance in the next 2 to 3 years. There's way, way too much, internet talk, right? I've been to BC a couple times long ago, 20 years ago, and out in BC, where Whistler, up visiting there, it was like 1 and 2 accepted that there was a Bigfoot. They laughed at that, but they accepted that there could be a possibility there's a Bigfoot. That was in Whistler, BC, 20 years ago, at the turn of the millennium, before that. But now, that was before all this internet stuff, all right? Just in that one area, it was a knowledge that there a good possibility Bigfoot would exist, right? Now, out here, what happens is, less possibilities. Everyone associates, Sasquatch with being in a mountainous area, especially, whatever commercials, kokanee, whatever, those commercials. But just the common knowledge, they've heard a lot of, legends and stories, BC, right? Ontario more and more is being known now in Ontario, but years ago it was way hunters or rural people only had these type of encounters. Others kept quiet, no one would believe them. So, but out in BC, Alberta, that was more common knowledge. Same as in California and stuff. People who have encounters in Texas or certain other parts, people can't believe it. You've really had an encounter here? They still can't believe it. But California, yes. Certain other areas, Alabama, whatever, certain states, Missouri, those type of places. Florida, for sure. Okay? That's always, been in the back of people's minds. Mississippi, yes, right? That kind of stuff, right? But, right, anyone living within a radius of a large metropolis, even 100 miles, no, they think that doesn't happen till you're way out in the middle of nowhere. Do you understand? In that.
Yes.
Right.
My friend, I got to wrap this up because we got to get going here. And Tom, I want to say good luck searching. Make sure you stay safe. And make sure that that whatever you do, my friend, that you always make sure that you don't become a Sasquatch bride because you wouldn't look pretty in white. No offense.
Thank you, Dave. Yeah, I give a shout out to my station, YouTube station, Scarborough Sasquatch Station. We're up and coming. Keep an eye out, folks. More interesting stuff will soon on the way. And thank you very much, Dave. I really appreciated this.
Not a problem.
Right.
Coming up next, we have the SOR Newswire and the Thought of the Dave. Stay tuned. More Spaced Out Radio to take it home to the weekend.
If you like it hot, real hot, then heat up your meals with Bumblefoot hot sauce.
Get your Bumblefoot hot sauce today. The sauce, Bumblicious, and the 4 million Scoville unit Bumble. We're going in hot, real hot, coming out even hotter.
Keep the milk nearby and tantalize your taste buds tonight.
Bumblefoot hot sauce, available now at kajans.com.
Looking for something new to push your limits? Look Beyond the Spectrum, a new docuseries featuring some of the best researchers in the world when it comes to everything from UFOs, government cover-ups, and Bigfoot in the forest. Truth seekers like Steve Bassett, Dr. Jeff Meldrum, Richard Dolan, as well as others all chip in to bring their knowledge to you. Beyond the Spectrum can be found on Amazon as well as Tubi TV. Tell us what you think on our Amazon page.
Cold drinks, great food, and the best music in Vancouver. The Moose Vancouver is the place to be, open until 2 a.m. nightly. Everything on the menu starts at just $6.95. Who serves food that cheap anymore? At the Moose, you'll never know who you'll run into. Rock stars, actors, athletes. It's the place everyone wants to be. So join us at the Moose Vancouver, the official party bar of Spaced Out Radio.
At spacedoutradio.com, we are keeping you up to date on all the news with the SOR Newswire. Captain Shirk leads the team that is bringing you the news of the day and exclusive stories on everything paranormal and supernatural. It's free to read, it's updated daily, and it's right there for you. The SOR Newswire is a one-stop shop for the news of the day. Check it out at spacedoutradio.com today.
Hey everybody, the SOR Space Travelers is open. For just $5 a month, you can hang out with Dave and our crew privately in our members-only section. With your signing, you'll receive newsletters on what's going on with Spaced Out Radio. You'll have direct contact with the host during the show in our chat, live streaming videos, and a great forum for your posts and more. Become a space traveler now at spacedoutradio.com.
Hello, this is your guitar man, Ron Bumblefoot Thaw, and I have to tell you, I love the response I get for Little Brother is Watching from Spaced Out Radio fans. It's amazing how music can inspire and make people think deeper about what's going on in the supernatural world. You can head over to my website, bumblefoot.com, to check out my music, my guitar workshops, my touring, even check out some of the hot sauces that I'm working on. And make sure you keep on listening, because with Spaced Out Radio, you know Little Brother is watching.
We're adding to the entertainment online for Spaced Out Radio. I'm Amber Beckard, and I want to invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out Cryptid Tales, where I will take you on a journey into some of the strangest legends and lore from around the world, relaying the stories to you of the strange creatures and experiences that people have had throughout time. You can find Cryptid Tales at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. And while you're there, don't forget to check out our free archives and leave a comment. See you there.
We all know on Spaced Out Radio we love a good beard and mustache, so why not take care of your facial hair with Mighty Moose Beard Oil? Made in Canada, we're taking care of beards and stashes around the world. We use 100% natural ingredients with our oils and balms to make your whiskers feel silky smooth. Use promo code SOR2019 at mightymoosebeard.com today.
Hey Spaced Out Radio fans, it's John Resig, founder of the Chive and Chive Charities. Our goal is to make the life of veterans, first responders, and those with rare medical conditions 10% happier. We do this by donating one grant item, ranging from vans to therapy programs to prosthetic limbs, to those who need it most. To contribute to Spaced Out Radio's official charity, head over to chivecharities.org and become a donor today.
A little bit of science, a little bit of skepticism. Add a dash of snark and you have the makings of Spaced Out Sundays with me, Everett Thieme. Together we will look into the reality of the paranormal with an open eye and rational thought. Oh, did I mention there'll be plenty of woo as well? Your time spent with Spaced Out Sundays will make the night even better. The chat rooms are open, 9:06 p.m. Pacific, 12:06 a.m. Eastern, right here at spacedoutradio.com.
You wanted new SOR gear, and now you can have it. The SOR Vault is fully stocked with t-shirts, hats, hoodies, mugs, and everything in between with great logos for you to choose from. So head on over to spacedoutradio.com, click on the SOR Vault, and go shopping. Pricing is quite affordable, and you can look good representing your favorite show. So go to our website and pick up your new SOR wear at the SOR Vault today.
Are you looking for great advertising value for your company? Look no further than Spaced Out Radio. We have a multitude of places to get your name out there, including commercial ads during the show, special promotions, and banners on our website. Our audience is proven to support the companies that support our show. We can make your budget work for you. So for more information, please contact us at sales@spacedoutradio.com.
Hello, space travelers. It's me again, Carl. Don't forget to join the Space Travelers Club for just $5 a month and follow Spaced Out Radio on Twitter @SpacedOutRadio. Our Instagram, Dave Scott SOR. Our Facebook page is Spaced Out Radio Show. Our archives are free at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Come woo it up with Spaced Out Radio today. Bye!
We've rounded third. We're heading for home tonight on Spaced Out Radio. I am your host, Dave Scott, sitting in the captain's chair of SOR headquarters. Thank you so much for joining us. Want to remind all of you that if you've missed most of this show or others, you can always check out our free archives at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Do me the favor, hit that subscribe button. Our website, spacedoutradio.com. We got a plethora of features for you. Rock out to Bumblefoot, do a little shopping at the SOR Vault. Grab a great book from We Read the Night. Join the Space Travelers for $5 a month. And Captain Shirk has you all up to date on the SOR Newswire. Reminder, since it is Friday night, as soon as we sign off the show at the top of the hour, we're going to go live on YouTube as we do the past few Friday nights, trying to create a new tradition around here of the SOR After Party. Ask Me Anything. Come join the Super Chat room. It's youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Let's get to the news. The news is always changing, which is why we bring you the SOR Newswire at the back end of every show, where we get to the weird, the strange, the wacky, and sometimes the historic. On February 14th, around the year 270 A.D., Valentine, a holy priest in Rome, the days of Emperor Claudius II, was executed. Under the rule of Claudius the Cruel, Rome was involved in many unpopular and bloody campaigns. The emperor had to maintain a strong army, but was having a difficult time getting soldiers to join his military leagues. Claudius believed that Roman men were unwilling to join the army because of their strong attachment to their wives and families. To get rid of the problem, Claudius banned all marriages and engagements in Rome. Valentine, realizing the injustice of this decree, defied Claudius and continued to perform marriages for young lovers in secret. When Valentine's actions were discovered, Claudius ordered that he be put to death. Valentine was arrested and dragged before the prefect of Rome, who condemned him to be beaten to death with clubs and to have his head cut off. The sentence was carried out on February 14th, in or around the year of 270. Legend also has it that while in jail, St. Valentine left a farewell note for jailer's daughter, who had become his friend, and signed it, "From your Valentine." For his great service, Valentine was named a saint after his death. In truth, the exact origins and identity of St. Valentine are unclear. According to the Catholic Encyclopedia, at least 3 different St. Valentines, all of them martyrs, are mentioned in the early martyrologies? I guess that's a word. Never knew. Under the date of 14 February, one was a priest in Rome. The second one was a bishop of Interamna, which is now Terni, Italy. And the third, St. Valentine, was a martyr in the Roman province of Africa. here's something cool. Yeah. What the telescopes can pick up can range from chemical composition of planet's atmosphere to lasers emissions to structures orbiting the Earth among the stars. Why is this going on? Well, let's tell you. As the entire sky is about to be scoured for signs of extraterrestrial or alien activity for the first time ever, astronomers will use 28 giant radio telescopes in an unprecedented hunt for otherworldly civilizations. Experts at the SETI Institute, an organization dedicated to tracking extraterrestrial intelligence, are developing state-of-the-art techniques to detect signatures from space that indicate the possibility of an extraterrestrial existence. The SETI Institute is working with a very large array observatory in New Mexico, one of the world's most powerful radio observatories. All data will be fed through a dedicated supercomputer that will search for beeps, squawks, and other signatures of distant technology. The VLA is being used for an all-sky survey, and we kind of go along for the ride, said Andrew Simeon, director of the Berkeley SETI Center. It allows us to, in parallel, conduct a SETI survey. What the telescopes can pick up, once again, goes from chemical composition of a planet's atmosphere to laser emissions and so on. Dr. Tony Beasley, director of the National Radio Astronomy Observatory Telescope based in Virginia, says, determining whether we are alone in the universe as technology capable life is among the most compelling questions in science. SETI scientists plan to develop a system that will piggyback on the VLA and provide data to their technosignature search system. Gaining real-time access to data gathered by the VLA is considered a major coup for scientists and an indication that the field has gone mainstream. Dr. Beasley added, as the VLA conducts its usual scientific observations, the new system will allow for an additional and important use for the data we are already collecting. Life forms, whether intelligent or not, can produce detectable indicators such as large amounts of oxygen, smaller amounts of methane, and a variety of other chemicals, the experts say. So in addition, scientists are also developing computer models to simulate extraterrestrial environments that can help support future searches for habitable planets and life beyond our solar system. That is kind of cool. Very cool. SpaceX's Crew Dragon commercial astronaut spacecraft has relocated to Florida, where it is set to launch in a few months. According to a new report, the capsule is undergoing last-minute testing before it leaves Cape Canaveral Air Force Station, with NASA astronauts Bob Behnken and Doug Hurley aboard. Behnken and Hurley will be part of a mission codenamed Demo 2 by SpaceX and NASA. TechCrunch reported this earlier this week. The mission is reportedly meant to further explore the possibility of a spacecraft that could regularly transport people to the International Space Station. Didn't they used to do this with the shuttles? Did they not realize that the shuttles worked? Or is that a Mandela effect that they kind of forgot? Anyways, Crew Dragon will fly Behnken and Hurley to and from the International Space Station after undergoing electromagnetic interference testing, according to a tweet from SpaceX on Tuesday. Crew Dragon employees departed for Florida Wednesday from the Hawthorne facility in California. Oh, this is getting interesting. We're going back to space, people. Should we even be excited about it? Like, shouldn't we be disappointed that in 1970 we could put a person on the moon, but in 2020 we're just trying to figure out how to get astronauts back into space? I don't know. It just seems so backwards. So backwards. Anyhow, Mandela effect. Let's just call it right there. Come on, Twitter. You can do it. Kevin Leapy has been a professional tattoo artist for 16 years. He has owned and operated traditional tattoo in Regina, Saskatchewan for the past 12. In that time, Leapy has never come across someone looking for an eye tattoo, known as scleral tattooing. It is the practice of tattooing the white part of the human eyeball done with a hypodermic needle. I would think it is a highly dangerous procedure, poking someone in the eye with a hypodermic needle, possibly taking out their eyesight. No thanks, Lippy said. Even if Lippy wanted to pick up the practice, he would not be allowed to. The Saskatchewan government recently introduced legislation banning cosmetic eye tattooing and the implantation of eye jewelry, joining only Ontario and Manitoba as the provinces to do so. Saskatchewan made the decision to ban scleral tattooing and eye jewelry because obtaining this type of body modification is very risky and can result in serious complications, including significant inflammation, infection, damage due to vision, blindness, and eye loss, the Ministry of Health told the media. It is a decision supported by the Saskatchewan Association of Optometrists, who, like the province, believe the risk outweighs the reward. This new legislation is a proactive decision to protect the public's vision and prevent unnecessary cases of injury and blindness. That was from SAO President Dr. Nathan Kanachik. Proactive, yes, but the SAO and optometrists and ophthalmologists are dealing with an increase of patients with complications due to eyeball tattooing and eye surgery. Jewelry, that is. SAO said complications include inflammation, retinal toxicity, extreme pain, vision loss, and surgical removal of the eye. Leapy said he agrees with the ban, believing there are practices tattoo artists should avoid. He says, I would think any normal self-respecting tattoo artist probably doesn't even want to partake in anything like that. It's not really any form of art, I wouldn't call it. It's more like body modification. I think it's disgusting. Leave the eyeballs alone. If you want to tattoo your face or your head or your genitals or whatever, go for it. Leave the eyes alone. Leave your eyes alone. You may need them for a few years, and you don't know what it's going to be like 20, 30, 40, 50 years down the road. Just chill out about it. Chill out. All right, moving on. A plan to clear 35,000 kilograms of rubbish from Mount Everest is being talked about. The Nepalese government says the army will be used for the task that will cost 860 million Nepali rupees, or $7.5 million. Last year, they managed to clear about 10,000 kilograms of waste from the region, but Kami Rita Sherpa, who has scaled the world's highest mountain a record 24 times, say they do not have the skills to reach the highest points. They collect garbage from lower altitudes, Sherpa says, adding they should mobilize Sherpas to clean up garbage from higher elevations. Only Sherpa guides and porters could do that. They should be given proper compensation to clean up this mountain. The 6 peaks, Everest, Lhotse, Pumori, Amadablam, Makalu, and Dhaulagiri, attract climbers from around the world each year, who often abandon oxygen and cooking gas cylinders, climbing gear, and other rubbish like food wrappers, cans, and bottles in their attempt to reach the summits. But the climbs are not without danger, and numerous people die each year. Everest saw 11 deaths in 2019. Many of the bodies are left on the mountain, so need to be brought down as part of the cleanup. But it is particularly difficult to bring items down from the higher reaches. In some cases, bodies and rubbish have been laying there for decades in the snow and ice. Climbing Sherpas are the right people to clean up the peaks. Purbatashi Sherpa, who has scaled Everest 21 times, said the government should keep that in mind. Nepali government spokesman for the army, Bigyan Dev Pandey, says he has confidence his team would be able to reach the upper areas during this year's cleanup, which ends June 5th. We are learning from our mistakes and working hard to clean up the mountains, including the higher elevations, he says. Nepal's government has also brought in measures to encourage people not to litter, asking for a $400 deposit, which is returned if they bring their waste back down with them. But it's not easy. The Sherpas acknowledge, even with their skills, they could struggle. As one Sherpa says, the former president of the Nepali Mountaineering Association, it's really hard to bring back heavy cylinders or dead bodies from the higher camps. Sherpa often risk their lives to do so. Most of the iced bodies weigh as much as 150 kilograms, so about 300 pounds, and that looks impossible for Sherpas to bring down. You know, bring the garbage down, the tanks and everything, leave the bodies. Just leave the bodies. All right. This dude is unlucky in love on this Valentine's Day. So this Kansas man is offering a $25,000 reward for setting him up on a date that leads to him having a girlfriend. Jeff Gebhardt of Prairie Village. He's 47 years old. Says he came up with his unusual dating scheme after some failed attempts at online dating following his last breakup. I saw the definition of insanity is doing the same thing again and again and again and expecting different results, so I knew I couldn't go back online dating, he says. Gebhardt enlisted the help of some friends to create DateJeffG.com, a website that attempts to use surveys with personality analytics to find him compatible dates. People who suggest women for Gebhardt to date on the website would win $25,000 if he ends up in a relationship with their suggested woman. Women who suggest themselves on the site are not eligible to win the money, but they will be considered for dates, he said. Oh, isn't that cute? Isn't that cute? One more here. Here's an interesting one. Best friends, a pigeon and a chihuahua. Platonic love is blooming at the Mia Foundation just in time for Valentine's. Herman the pigeon and Lundy the 8-week-old chihuahua found themselves on the same dog bed at the New York-based nonprofit, which is dedicated to giving pets with birth defects across the country a fighting chance. And both the animals seem to be rather comfortable with the setup. Herman has seniority at the Mia Foundation. The bird arrived at the rescue several years ago after he was found sitting motionless at a car dealership for 3 days. Our main goal is to take animals born with birth defects, Sue Rogers, who runs the foundation, says, adding that the nonprofit has helped young dogs, cats, horses, goats, turkeys, and even a donkey, but people bring us injured birds and squirrels all the time. That's how Herman ended up with Rogers. She received a call about the pigeon and agreed to take him in. With the help from a mentor involved in the wildlife rehab, Rogers was to be able to help the bird recover his strength, but Herman never regained his ability to fly, likely the result of West Nile virus or a brain injury. So Herman is now a permanent resident at the foundation, where Rogers regularly brings the bird outside to take into the great outdoors. It was after one of these outings he met little Lundy. Lundy arrived at the foundation from a breeder in South Carolina when he was just 4 weeks old. The little dog had started to learn how to walk and then suddenly stopped pawing around. The breeder, unable to care for the pup that appeared to have special needs, called Rogers to see if she could take him, which she agreed. I see Herman on a dog bed and started caring for Lundy, and I decided carefully to put Lundy in the same dog bed next to him. Rogers said of how the adorable friendship started. Unsure how the animals would react to each other, Rogers kept a close eye on the pair, keeping Lundy on the other side of the bed at first, but there was no need for concern. The two pets quickly gravitated towards each other and started cuddling, and it's been a great friendship ever since. Nice clown, Marty. Thank you so much for that. Hashtag Spaced Out Radio. Thought of the Dave happens every night at this time, where we ask a question on our Facebook and Twitter pages, then read your responses on the air because we love the audience participation around here. Today's Thought of the Dave is as follows. If you came face to face with a Sasquatch, what would you do? I wanted some funny answers here. Steven, you got my card, then my heart. Dave, I'd brush its teeth. Caden, I'd share my beef jerky because I've seen the commercials where they love that stuff. Everett, Dave, move away from the mirror. Heck with you, Everett. Your nose hair could be braided for Sasquatch. Tim, hand over my jack links, of course. Joyce, I would take a submissive stance, then exit stage left. Duck, Jim Mallard, Nike or Reebok, Sasquatch. Gayleen, I'll be your best friend. Oh, that's a cute little card you would give Sasquatch, Gayleen. Good job. Nigel, I would have a trouser incident. Barry, easy. Put some Kleenex up my nose to avoid the terrible body odor of the beast. Keith, Sasquatch, where's my freaking money? 3 years ago, $500 for electrolysis. I don't have my money, you hairy butt. Is still running around the woods, but I could see that you can afford plenty of Jack Link's beef jerky. Why do you mess with me this way? I want my money. Tree Fitty. Marty, I'd go onto a squatty potty. Melinda, I would ask it to dance. Duh. Coop, Make him a cup of coffee and tell him to bring his family. Give the Littlefoot kiddos juice boxes. Gail, first of all, I'd be looking into his navel, not his face. I'd stand my ground with my serious don't mess with me face. Probably show him a picture of Angry Granny, which frightens anyone who sees it. When he reaches out to touch my arm, I would slap his hand saying, "Do not touch me. That's not very nice. I'm Captain Shirk." He would then start to cry, and he'd give me a backpack back, filled with tasty snacks, tell him to stop being a big baby. He'd sniffle a bit more and then walk away, looking inside the backpack as he goes. He'd turn around and give me one last look and a weird half-groan, half-howl. As he lifts a hand as though he's waving, I call out, "Bye, honey, see you next time, big baby," and now I don't have a lunch. Tom. Face-to-face with a Sasquatch, I would beckon for a stare-down contest. Whoever blinks first has to buy lunch. $10 limit. No grubs. No barking substitutes. Funny, due to the Sasquatch supposedly never blink. Sparky. Attempt telepathic communication and tell it there is a box of apples behind the house for it to eat, and then run fast as I could. Joe. I would sit down with Sasquatch and explain to him that I haven't been around all these years because I didn't know he existed. Me and his mom met in the woods one night, had a little bit of fun, and then went our separate ways. She never told me of you, Sasquatch, but now that I know I have a son, I will always be there for you. Then we would probably go hit some trees with sticks. Oh, what a way to end the week. Thank you, Oob Joe's Maine. And we say thank you to everybody participating in the Thought of the Dave on Twitter and on Facebook. We'll do it all again on Monday. A big thank you to Tom Andritsos for coming on in and talking some Sasquatch with us, and to Captain Shirk for getting all the news together for the SOR Newswire, which can be found at spacedoutradio.com. Want to remind all of you, in just a few minutes' time, give me about 5-6 minutes, we're going to go live on YouTube at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. We do it every Friday night for the SOR Paranormal Roundtable, which is me and me included only. No, it's not the roundtable. It's an Ask Me Anything. So come join us. We got the super chat open. If you want to hang on out, we'd love to have you there. It'd be fun. 5 minutes. That's all I need. Just 5-minute break, and then we'll get going. We got Mr. Ron Bumblefoot Thal rocking in the background with Little Brother Is Watching. Bumblefoot is the official music of Spaced Out Radio, rocking us in and out of every single show. Get your horns up for the guitar god himself. Special thanks to everybody listening in this week at home, at work, in your cars, wherever you may be. Special thanks to everybody in the chat rooms on Revolution Radio, Spreaker. Where else are you? LGAB, the SOR Space Travelers Club on our Facebook page, and on our website, the Space Travelers there as well. Don't forget the Snarkers and Snarkettes on Twitter at #SpacedOutRadio. Yes, you made me laugh this week. Thank you. Remember, this show is copyright by Spaced Out Radio and SOR Media Ventures Limited. Thank you so much for sharing your week with us, because together, my friends, we own the night. Mr. Bumblefoot, we need a favor. We need you to take us home. I know you're out there somewhere watching me. Have a great weekend, everybody. Everett Themer takes over Saturday nights, talking the Nimitz with Kevin Day and PJ Hughes. He'll be back on Sunday as well. We'll talk to you on YouTube in a few minutes. But for the radio people, you have an amazing weekend, and we'll talk to you soon. Good night.